Guys, if you're not playing, download the game down below. We've got an Easter event going on. We've also got a Dungeons and Dragons collaboration happening this season, so that should be pretty soon. And I'm doing a tier list on the Vortex boss. The Vortex boss is something we fight every single day throughout the season. It really helps with your ranking. So we're trying to do a new season 3 one, which will also work for all other seasons. But we're starting out with a lot of the season 3 heroes, so this has been pretty exciting to do. And then now today, well, I just collected a lot of rewards. There's a whole bunch of reset. Today is weekly reset, so we got a lot of stuff to go over here. She's already an absolute beast. Nord in here for ice crystals, Bledin. That's still a really good team with Nord, Bledin, and Girthin. 2 epics and a rare, pulling 30 million compared to these other guys up here. 2 legendaries with Whisk and Sacredia. That to me right there is like, come on, you know? Daphne versus Tuldi. You got to use Tuldi though to boost Azul. You got to use Tuldi for decrease defense though. That's the main thing about Tuldi. Yes, he will give us more shadow for everybody, but not only that, we want that 100% uptime on decreased defense if we can get that. Now he used to do it, but they nerfed him, so we need to try it out with this nerf going on. Because before he gave himself 20 shadow energy per tick, which would be 60 total. Now he's been knocked down by 15, so he's at 45. He used to give him everybody 10 total here. Strike the enemy 3 times, each strike doing this and granting shadow allies 5 shadow energy. This was 10 shadow energy. They nerfed that. And then here's the same where he grants 30% of the obtained shadow energy. So it was really easy for him to have 100% uptime himself on decreased defense. This right here. He had it up. Right when it's about to fall off, he would reapply it. Can we still do that? I think we can with skill haste. Because skill haste affects our battle skills here. But obviously it doesn't affect doing our ultimate. That's where we need the shadow energy. And he does 3 hits here, so it's really good for something like this. So if I can give him like 2-piece skill haste set. I think that's what he's got on, right? Skill haste accuracy. Skill haste accuracy. Wait, are they the same? Yeah, exactly the same. Okay, let's go up to... And he's got plenty of accuracy. We could actually... Yeah, we could take that off. He's gonna get more accuracy here from this 2-piece set. Wrong one. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, but we'll test. We'll see what works. We will definitely find out what works. Critical damage. I only have 1 piece with attack and crit rate. Wow. Okay, maybe we'll find some here. Critical damage with attack percentage. That's pretty nice. Skill haste. That could help us out. Skill haste will definitely help us out. Enlightenment. He doesn't need enlightenment though. That went hard. Attack with skill haste, I think is on him right now. I don't want to go too crazy, but that's a lot of skill haste. It's kind of overboard. Okay, that'd be 2 hits into this one and 2 hits, like if we had to separate it out. That's still a little overboard, but 2 hits into each is not bad. Plus all this additional skill haste. All right, we're getting our 40. Plus our additional here. 8.7 seconds. I don't know if we're going to have 100% uptime. Let's find out. Use Espolta for witches. Okay, you have Espolta for witches. What is she doing over here? Strikes the enemy 3 times. Okay, she does 3 times as well. But she's doing it every... How often is she doing it? I don't know how often she can cycle through her ultimate. We can definitely use her for witches remains, but I'm not sure how fast she gets back to doing this. With him, he gives himself so much. He gives himself with that battle skill. He doesn't do any damage, but he gives himself so much shadow energy. Okay, there's decreased defense. He needs to do his battle skill. It fell off. See, he can't do 100% uptime. Before he could. That's such a shame. I don't know why they changed him. We have people like Cyril that's doing 100% uptime on decreased defense, decreased attack. Oh, that's a shame, man. He can't even do it with all this attack speed. Our skill haste. Maybe if we did give him some attack speed so he could attack more often and get some shadow energy from that. He's almost back up that time. Espolta would give him 10. Test it with. Taldi increases her DPS by double. Yeah, he's giving a lot of people shadow, that's for sure. I was hoping he'd give everybody shadow, but then also have 100% uptime on this decreased defense like he did before. Almost, it's just not quite. He's got some lag. Yeah, it doesn't fall off for long, but before we could have it up all the time. Like, all the time. But that's okay. You know, you gotta go what you gotta work with what you got. But at least we're giving other people a portion. 30% of this we're giving them, right? And then here we're giving shadow allies 5 more. 15 total. But you're saying because we're giving so much, it's going to increase. Revamp, what's up, my man? It's going to increase the shadow person's damage, right? Who do you want to test out first? You want to test out these 3 without... Let's test out these 3 without the exclusive first. We don't have that many to test out, honestly. All right, is she going to be our main damage dealer? I think so. We'll put her in test 1. And we'll put her with... Is she doing her ultimate all the time? Put her with the eyeball. Like we've done most other people. And then we'll put her on test 3. This lady's crazy. Did you hear her? I can't really hear them well unless I put on my headset, but she sounded like she was wild. Now I can hear. She sounded like she had some issues. Some serious spirit issues.
They destroyed everything, taking my suffering and crystallizing it into jewels and
She's pretty cool.
rays of moonlight.
She's pretty awesome. So what did we use for another? We didn't really use legendary. We didn't use legendary artifacts on other. Let me pull up my sheet. So for the other people, we always use roots, witches remains, or eyeball is what we kept to. If we put roots on her, she's not going to get... We need a lot of attack on her, right? Attack percentage. But she's going to crit too because she still crits when she does her battle skill. She gives everybody some shadow energy. So regardless, I don't think it's going to be a big deal what we put on her. This will give her 60% plus 15%. She's already got a 100% chance to crit, like right at it, which is awesome. She's got attack, instead of critical damage. Actually, we should put critical damage on her like we do with everybody, because that critical damage will equate over to attack, but not as much as attack as this, though. We'll try it like this first. More attack on her would be 35% of the attack she has. She gives to other people, so that would be better. But it's all right. We'll try her like this first. Let's go back to her. 100% attack easy. We do need critical damage here, though, for her. What are we looking at? We're going to lose all that crit rate. Oh, she's well above what we need, though. Defense, HP, skill, haste, attack percentage. Okay, attack speed on these people makes it so that they get more shadow energy and they do their ultimate more often. Because every time they attack, if we can get their attack interval up, they will do more damage. They'll do their ultimates more often.
The nobles have trampled on my...
This is... What is this? Shadow? Okay, 14. What? First cast. Oh, this is the ultimate. It shows it at 20 seconds. Okay, well, we're just going to set them at free. Yeah, because we're going to make him, we're going to let him go as often as he wants because he's going to have almost 100% uptime. He might have 100% uptime because as Polta is giving everybody shadow too. And if she jumps on him, of course, he'll have 100% uptime. But we want Daphne to jump over to Espolta. And I think that's what's going to happen. So we really don't need any kind of timing for them. Let's see who Daphne goes to. Daphne should definitely go to Espolta. I don't think there's any reason why she would jump to him. She did jump to him. No, she's on Espolta. Okay, good. Everything is good. Everything is the way it should be. Now, what kind of decreased defense do we have? What kind of uptime do we have on witches? Oh, 100% uptime. Look at that. But this Polta on the crew? It's up. It's up, baby. The whole entire time. Okay, so I guess they nerfed him if he's not, if he's by himself, he's not going to have 100% uptime. If he's with somebody else that can generate a little shadow, he's got 100% uptime. If he is... And so that means that they nerfed him so he doesn't give as much. Maybe he was giving too much shadow to everybody else. He was giving them way too much shadow and they were able to do their ultimates way too often. Okay, so Daphne's going to give 35% of her attack to Espolta, but she's still going to do her battle skill. She's still going to do attacks, right? Oh, that's why she keeps changing position. I was like, why is Espolta changing positions? I don't know. When she does her ultimate, she keeps switching places. So far? Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But why not Daphne? Don't you think the most damage we'd get would be Taldi, Daphne, and Azul? Don't you think that'd be the best team as opposed to Taldi, Espolta, Azul? Because Daphne can keep Azul in the demon form longer, give him 35% additional attack, plus she'll still be doing her attacks, and she'll give him additional shadow when she's in possessing him. Plus we'll give him additional shadow from Taldi, right, to power them up. That means she gets back with Taldi there. Daphne gets back into that, doing her ultimate, possessing somebody faster as well. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the numbers are, right? That's what you've been testing? Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, those are the only kind of logical ones, because if you look at the other epics in the rare, they just don't look like they're going to perform well. But I do want to test them out. We'll see. Maybe an all epic team with a rare in there. Maybe we'll find a hidden gem, man. I'd love to find a hidden gem. That'd be great. I do like this team, though, because it doesn't have the exclusive. So if this team, like this, what we want to see from all of our other damage testing, we want to see like 37 million. That'd be great. If we can even do what Ice Blast does right here with Shinna, Bledin, and Girthin at 37 million, fantastic. Now, if we saw above that, yeah, that would be great. I don't mind that either. If with Azul, though, with Azul, I want to see above it for sure because he's an exclusive. So when we bring in Azul, when we bring in the other Aura exclusive, I'm expecting to see more than 37 million. I don't want to see Shinna, Bledin, and Girth do better than exclusives. Although I have a feeling that they might. Because Girth is such a beast, you know? I have a feeling they might. But I hope not. Both of them are main DPSers like Azul. Yeah, they're main DPSers, right? Well, that's the whole reason. Like, you can't beat 100% uptime and decrease defense. Plus, we have gloves on. Mythic gloves that give us 30% additional damage when decreased defense is up. So right away, all of our guys are doing 30% additional damage. With 100% uptime on that. With all the other teams we ran, none of them. It was like 10 seconds out of 20 seconds, right? We never had 100% uptime on decreased defense for any of those other teams we saw just now. Because we can't get it done. But that's what makes Taldi so special. Plus, all that shadow energy is giving everybody else. But you definitely can't beat this. When you've got 100% uptime, it's pretty busted. That's going to add so much damage. And we've been able to do 100% uptime before by using the Crown and Witch's Remains. But now we're just using Witches the whole time. This got to increase our damage by a lot. I mean, we're only at 25 stacks at 11 million. I feel like that's pretty damn good. You just got home? OP Gamer, what's up, my man? I've tested Taldi, Aspaltus, and Azul since Season 3 launch. Yeah, Rifter. Were you doing it on the test server? Or are you just doing it on, like, day 7? How is, especially if you've only done it since day 7, how's the experience going? How's the experience for, like, lower level? Are you on the server I'm on? Are you on Faithless 1? You're always acting for Shadow? Hey, we just started, man. We just started. We don't have any numbers here for Shadow on our sheet yet. Look. We've got nothing yet. But we're going to. Don't you worry, man. We're about to do Shadow right here. All the Shadow teams we can. Live server since day 1. I pulled all 3 day 1. Okay, how they been? How are you compared to everybody else? Or just tell me the damage you're getting right now with that team. Because I know the damage I'm getting with my Aura. Like, my Aura team isn't doing too hot. They're only doing 17 million. But I'm ranked 83 or so is what I got this morning. These guys are really good for Goblin. Yeah, if there's any AoE, without a doubt. A lot of these new ones for Season 3 do a lot of AoE, right? So they're going to be exceptionally well at the in-game boss. I thought Rifter was going to tell us his... maybe he's typing it out. He's going to tell us his findings. What, Gory, what kind of damage were you getting with Chitter in the Tatoth? Are we talking... We're not talking Espolta damage, right? She's doing pretty good right now. Well, compared to the other two, I mean, obviously, we're not going to get a lot of damage out of Taldi. And our girl over here that possesses... She's possessing a lot, right? Yeah, it's all AoE. Well, the same thing with the Aura. The Aura people are pretty much all AoE. And then a lot of the corrosion, some of the corrosion's AoE, like Whisk. He does a lot of AoE, right? So it seems like a lot of these newer ones, they do well single target, but then they also have AoE, which is pretty cool. Discord chat on the phone sucks. Yeah, you can show us in Discord. Are you gonna like post your team or something like that? Did she just possess her again? Yeah. So if we're at 70 stacks and we're going to 150, we don't have a lot of time though to get damage, do we? You have some hopes for Chitter? Let me see who's out here really quick. I hear something. I think my daughter's back home. Okay, you there? Okay. I don't know. I'm not... I mean, I like the damage as Pult is doing. Obviously, it looks nice. It's 12 million, so a lot of 12 millions that we have. She's doing Girthin damage, right, by now. She's got time to do more damage, so she's already picking up 12 million, which is what we have Dargo at for Unkillable, which Dargo does great damage for an epic. Sacredia is doing 12 million with the same gear set on probably. And then we've got Girth over here just knocking it out, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to compete with her though. Just like Total Nan, I'm sure Total Nan's going to do really good damage when we test her out. But she is definitely being enhanced by Daphne. You know? With some speed gear? Yeah, I was thinking we need some speed gear, maybe even on a couple of the other ones that we're playing right now. Every time they attack, they get 10 shadow energy, right? So the higher the attack speed, the better off we are. Be able to get to that ultimate more often. And whenever he transforms into Azul, the demon, his basic attacks do all that damage, right? So if his attack speed's up, he's going to do even more damage there. So not only will he get back to getting more shadow energy, when he's in demon form, he's going to pop more, right? I got to say, this overall damage doesn't look that good. I mean, it looks okay, but it's not. It's not. Oh, man. And we're doing 100% uptime on decreased defense, which is and he's enabling them too, which is kind of it's sad that it's not more damage. It really is sad that it's not more. Okay, let me put Tuldy's name in here. Tuldy with, I assume gears. No, he's got a new gear set. He's got a totally different attack speed gear set. No, not attack speed. He's got gear for skill haste. Skill haste gear and Witch's Remains. We've got Aspulta with gear set 1, Eyeball. And then Daphne, gear set 3. And remember, we're not trying to get the most damage out of them, right? We're not with these tests, we're not trying to put like the most insane gear necessarily. We can switch around to the best gear, like the best gear out there, especially if the gear that we're using on most of these aren't the gear that will benefit them the most. But we're getting a general idea of kind of what kind of damage they are, what kind of damage they can do compared to all the other teams, right? Rifter, we're going to test all this stuff out. If you just want to tell us kind of what damage or what you found does the best, you can just tell us in chat, you know, really quick. But we're going to test them all out. If you have like a team combination that you really like that you seem that did a lot of damage, yeah, you can just let us know. But we're going to be running a lot of tests on here for all these teams. We got Daphne at 8 million. Okay, I feel like we can definitely get some more damage out of Daphne. Espulta, awesome damage. But I wonder what kind of damage she's going to do without Daphne there. Like, I wonder how much that's going to drop. She did 16 million, but without Daphne helping her out so much, what do you think her damage is going to be? It's not going to be... It's probably going to be a lot lower than 60 million. And then our boy here only got 2.734 because he doesn't have a battle skill. Right? He's only got an ultimate that does damage. 2,734,000 to total damage of 28 million. Daphne had roots on, which we could definitely put a better set on her, but that's just, but we've been using with a lot of people, so that just gave her a lot of attack, which is okay. Spolta had eyeball. Obviously, there's much better artifacts than that, but that's what we've been using on everybody else. And then Toldy had a totally different gear set. And she had gear set 1 and she had gear set 3. But we were getting 30% additional, 35% additional damage the whole entire time, which is a really big increase. Except he didn't have that on. He's doing his ultimate every 10 seconds, so that was... I don't know, every 10 seconds for an ultimate's pretty good damage too if we put him in more of a damage set instead of the skill haste set that we were putting him in. But with the skill haste set, he's giving everybody a lot of shadow pretty quickly. I wonder if there's a better set we could put on him without all the skill haste. Targeting for possession? I didn't, but I thought it was the person with the highest attack. Is that correct? From when we tested her before, I thought it was always the person with the highest attack. Is that not true? What does it say? Oh, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. But when we tested her before, I tested them on the test server before. It was, so if they are debuffed, it will change. You're right, because they won't have the highest attack then. Yeah. That makes sense. But who's doing decreased attack on them right now? If somebody decreased attack my girl here, Espolta, enough before Daphne did her ultimate that would bring her lower than this guy, sure. Sure, I get that. And he gives himself a lot of shadow energy. Right. That's how he's doing this ultimate over and over. Okay, so if we take out... Let's take out Daphne and put in somebody lower level. And see how the team runs without Daphne. I'm curious to see the damage. Maybe this other shadow person will pick it up. You said that this rat does a lot of damage?
Opportunity knocks.
Okay, so he does 4% of max HP whenever the hero casts a skill dealing damage to the enemy. Only when we hit 2 or more enemies, so we're not ignoring defense right now, huh? It's just 1 hit for 280, that's it? Seems pretty low for that ability. What's his attack speed? 2-second interval? 1.82, 2. Whenever an enemy dies... Okay, we're not having... Nobody's dying here. Orbs, that's not good. Orbs that bounce aren't going to help us out here either. Okay, these consecutive strikes over time, I don't know what kind of damage that's going to be like. I have no idea until I play it. And this rare didn't have anything special, did she? Grants 15%. Well, no, this grants 15% attack up to all allies for 5 seconds. And it's not just shadow allies, it's all allies, so that's pretty sweet. Once the hero ultimate reach full. See, this does 400% and then gains 30 stamina, gains 30 shadow. This is 750% with a 50% chance to ignore 25. She looks like she could be okay for a rare. I don't think she would do that bad as a rare, right? If we, well, we'll do the same gear we're going to do on Chitter. We'll do the same gear on her and find out. But she looked like she would be okay, right? But whatever we play, it looks like we got to play Toldy with it because these don't have a lot of... and Espolta too. Espolta gives everybody some shadow energy. But it doesn't look like these shadow lower level ones, these other epics and rares, don't have good ways to get a whole bunch of additional shadow. Well, he's getting 30 just like the rare's getting 30 on the battle skill every 10 seconds. And of course, we could lower that. But every time they attack, so if their attack interval is higher, sure. Why does he need enlightenment? 4% of max HP doesn't involve enlightenment. What? This guy has this none of this affects enlightenment. That's really weird.
Intrigue. Just a little observation, a little comprehension, all weave together, but don't take it lightly.
That is really weird. Okay, we're gonna go with this will increase his damage, right? Putting roots on him, and then what did Daphne have? She should have. We didn't do critical damage with her, which we need to. Critical damage with this guy with the armor set we have. We didn't have critical damage and crit rate. Let's see if we need that. I think he's good. What's his crit rate? He's at 100%. Skill haste, accuracy, attack. Okay.
The way those folks.
Can't I overwrite the other one? I bet I can. Okay, critical damage, attack, crit rate, attack. Critical damage, attack, crit rate, attack. All the same. He's the only one we really have different gear on. And I don't even know if we need this different gear. Do you think we do? I feel like he was really close to not getting 100% uptime, right? I feel like it was very close. Like if we take out Espolta, I don't even know if he's going to do 100% uptime. It'll be close. It'll be fine. This is crit rate attack. I mean, he's still got almost 100% chance to crit, like right 2 away from it.
If you have a query to ask of me, it would be best you think very carefully before daring to speak.
No, he wasn't close to it, I guess. Was he not? Crit rate is 16 we just put on him, right? What do we take off then? Oh, crap. Close down the game. Probably need to skill. He's not skilled? What? Have we been playing him not skilled? No way. Then I got to go back and do all those runs. Is he not skilled right now? He's skilled. Let me make sure. You never know. I got to skill these all up right when I break them out. I got to skill them up. Yeah, we'll see. It could be. Could be, since every time I got to level these up, I got to skill them again. Well, I mean, for the first time. Every season I do this, I got to skill them. Okay, Vortex 2. Let's check. He's skilled. She's skilled up. He's skilled. Yeah, he's skilled. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how much she dropped. She did 16.1 million. Espolta did. That's with Daphne helping out. Let's see overall. Let's see what her damage drops to in overall. Maybe this rat will do more than Daphne's 8.4 million. Probably with the roots on. And then overall we'll get maybe the same damage. Which would be a little wild because we're using 2 legendaries and then we go into an epic. Your necro team's what are you on right now? Like the last one overall you be building? My necro and lightning for the current season, season 3, will be the last teams I'll be building because I don't have anything to level up necro and lightning. I've got no resources to do that. Everything I'm running right now are all radiant, frost, fire, and poison. Like there's nothing I wanted to be bothered with because I didn't pull any of the shadow guys. I pulled none of the shadow dudes at all. Well, I pulled Espolta recently, right? So I wasn't really big on them, and I pulled so many aura, I just kept going with the aura, plus I wanted to play Sonarl, and then I wanted to play Garius, and then Sonarl, and then I wanted to use Varesh, of course, with Ogok, Furbath, Sigrid, all those. You have all of them besides Daphne? Nice. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way I was, right? I got all the aura ones, so I just went with it. Good or bad, I just went with it so I could have something new on my screen. So I wouldn't be looking at the same Varesh and Sigrid doing for honor, throwing out those arrows over and over. I didn't know how they would play. I didn't test them out on the test server. We still need to test them on the Vortex boss here with everybody else. But it was new. And I got the exclusive, so I was like, okay, I'm playing this one. You just got to go with it. It just depends on how strong you are too, because it's season 3. If you're strong enough, like if your account's strong enough, you got a lot of epic artifacts, legendary artifacts actually, and you've got a lot of the material to rank those artifacts up. Kind of can play whatever you want, right? Just have fun with it. You can play pretty much anything you want. Built Fire Radiant is your main team, and Poison as my Vortex. Nice. This rat's pretty good for a yeah, he is, right? He's doing 39%. And his gear is slightly, he's got 7 less critical damage and 430 less attack than his Polta. Because gear set 3 has, that's the difference, right? But over a long fight like that, that could be this simple difference right here. The rat's kind of catching up. So if we switch the gear on these two, or we tried to get gear that was closer together, that didn't have that 400 attack gap and 7 critical damage gap, I bet they'd probably be very even. Much closer than this, and they're already very close. Now I'm wondering if that rare will do this kind of damage though. Because I feel like the rare was built pretty much like Chitter. Very close to him, and she was doing more damage on her battle skill than he was. She probably doesn't have all the AoE he has, but she might do this kind of damage. Did you try the rare? Where is he getting additional damage from then? Could be his attack is higher, sure, and then we're multiplying that attack to be higher, yes. But normally people who do more damage have some kind of gimmick, right? Some kind of way for them to generate more shadow, or some kind of way for them to take advantage of what's placed on the boss to do more damage. Usually there's some kind of gimmick, right? Are we still getting 100% uptime on decreased defense? Look, why did it fall off? And it's not back right now. I think that one he missed it. I'm almost positive he missed it. He's only got 3 hits. And I've had plenty of people have 3 hits. OP Gamer, she's pretty trash. Yeah, we'll try. We'll see. I feel like he's casting his ultimate at the right time. Because the Pult is... Yeah, there he goes again. Okay. He just missed it before. Maybe ignore defense is bugged. Well, he's not going to ignore defense. The rat's not supposed to ignore defense unless there's 2 or more targets, is what I read on his battle skill. The rare has a chance to ignore defense on her ultimate, but like a 50% chance to ignore defense. Oh, to where it works all the time? Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe he's getting some additional damage if it's always ignoring defense. It could be. Is it a big hit? I haven't been paying attention to what he's hitting for. Here's his ultimate. A lot of hits on that ultimate, though. But he's definitely pulling in damage. Look at him. $32,000, 32. A lot of 32,000s. I don't know. He just did the battle skill, but I missed it again. Can't tell what it is. 40 stacks. I feel like 40 stacks, 11 million. We see this a lot. We see like 35 stacks or 40 stacks at 11 million. This might be the same damage. I think it's going to be 28 million total, right? Somewhere around there. Well, the battle skill stuff, if it was slower, we know when it's going to go off, because next to the 100, we see the battle skill icon, right? So we know it's going off then, but then we have to look quickly at the, try to find the damage number, because we're looking down there at the person. We see the icon come up, then we got to find it fast over here for the damage. There's just too much stuff going on, right? But yeah, look at his damage, man. He's killing it. This rat is doing as much damage as Polta. But she's helping out the team more than he is because she's giving everybody shadow energy. And it's really weird to me that she keeps changing positions. When she does her ultimate, she jumps on one side of Taldi and then the other side of him, which is very weird. Which is even actually bad, because what if I have somebody that's pulsing like healing, and then that pulsing healing has the artifact to where we get additional damage, and then she jumps out of, right? And then she jumps like out of the range. I don't know. She wouldn't be in this position she's at right now if she was like, if we had a healer right there in the middle, but she is weird jumping around. Usually don't see that on full auto. Plus he has roots on. Don't forget that Epic has roots on, which gives him a lot of attack. All equal this season? No, because Rook is crazy broken. They're not all equal, that is for sure, because Rook is ridiculously broken. If you pulled Rook, you're going to be doing the most damage on the Vortex boss. Just wait, you will be. You just need to make sure your guys are doing more damage themselves. Right now, you're not able to get enough corrosion up because your team's not lasting long enough, and your team is not dealing that much damage. Soon, you're going to be dealing way more damage with better gear, and you're going to be lasting longer on the Vortex boss. Or you'll get more damage in the time that you're actually on the Vortex boss. And with that, Rook has no, like, ceiling. It's just for every 30,000 corrosion on there, he's going to do a crazy amount of damage. So if you could just pump out more corrosion on that boss, then Rook is just going ham. I don't think anybody's going to be able to hang with Rook. I really don't think so. We'll see later on once everybody's pulling out their Rook teams and they're trying to minimize, maximize, and then we'll see how the Dauntless, like the top-end Dauntless team, competes with it. But I don't think they're going to have a chance. Fae or Pillars? Yeah, Rook is broken, right? The root came from Fae, right? Pretty sure it came from Fae. Season 2 Fae. But it really does enhance a rare and an epic quite a bit. But we've been using it on all rares and epics and even some legendaries, so we'll just keep doing it. It would be good though right now to take the root off, put the eyeball on, and see how it compares on an epic. Like right now we can see the damage he's doing. I wonder what kind of damage he'd do if we did take the root off. I mean, the root's giving him 30% additional attack plus 60% attack, so 90% attack total. An eyeball would give him that flat attack plus whatever additional 40% attack, and then 20% additional damage on his ultimate. I am kind of curious what the difference would be like. But I can test that off screen. You just want to see Azul do more than Ice Blast? I don't know. I mean, he's an exclusive. Of course he's going to do more than the Ice Blast you saw. But what if I put Beldel in there? I was using Girth, man. What if I put Beldel? What if we pit Beldel up against Azul and we pit the new Aurora exclusive up against him and see how they do? Or we look at Azul and then put him up against Rook. What do you think's going to happen? Can he hang with Rook? And he does AoE damage. Don't forget, he does AoE damage. So if we ever have some kind of AoE content, he's going to be amazing. Like all these heroes that do all this AoE damage are going to be great. They kind of built all of them that way. Look how low this damage is, though. Okay, he's hanging with her, yes, which is sad, actually, because overall damage, we're way lower than we were that last run. Espolta did 16 million on her own. Daphne did 8.4 million on her own. Same gear. We just changed the gear from Daphne over to Chitter. There was no other change. No other change in cast timing. Nothing. That's it. We changed the gear over and we dropped a lot. Told he should be doing about the same damage. He did a little bit less. Not much. He did 2.7 before. He did 2.2 here, so quite a bit less. I mean, we're talking 500, little under 500, 400 and something thousand. Not too crazy of a difference. We did change his gear a little bit, though. Maybe that had an effect on it. Probably. Where is it? 200. Espolta dropped 6 million because Daphne wasn't there to enhance her. Daphne's not only giving that 35% additional attack, she's giving them a whole bunch of shadow energy, so that means Espolta can do her ultimate more often, which gives her more damage, but then also gives us all shadow energy more often. So it's like a feeding machine, right? We're getting a whole bunch from Taldi, shadow energy to do all ultimates more often, which means Daphne's doing hers more often, but Daphne's then possessing her to give her that attack, plus give her some shadow energy, so she's doing her ultimate more often, which then gives everybody, it's, you know, it's a circle of life. I don't think that's the right statement. You know what I'm saying? 5. With the roots. Okay, what's this guy's name? Chitter? Chitter. Okay, so if we're looking at Chitter's doing the same amount of damage as Daphne, but again, he's not bringing what Daphne brings, like we just talked about. So Espolta dropped her same gear. Like, we didn't do anything to Espolta. We didn't change anything at all. She dropped down by 6 million because Daphne's not there. So we could say that Daphne really contributes a lot. 6 million more to the party there. That's quite a bit. Chitter's about Daphne's damage, but that doesn't mean anything. That's nothing. That's nothing when we overall have 22 million, right? 22 million is very low. Because this 19 million up here is with a rare Sabrina. And then we got 25 million with that rare Sabrina when we brought Dargo and Whisk in. When we tried to play around with a Sacredia here, that didn't work out at all. It was pretty garbage. So, okay. So that's what we got so far. PvP, Azul takes Rook for sure. You're using him in PvP? I don't know much about PvP, that's for sure. I don't play with these guys in PvP. You know? Alright, let me go over to... Who else are we going to break in here? The rare? It's going to be low, but we can at least see what the rare's damage is. That'll be fine. So really, looking at this, though, that means that none of these shadow teams are going to be decent damage, especially compared to Ice Blast. Not even close. Unless we bring in the exclusive. I mean, we can tell that right away. I mean, look at these numbers. We see Daphne, we see Espolta, and then Taldi, which is our best lineup, without the exclusive, at 28 million. That's like playing Nord, Bledin, and Girthin together. Isn't Girthin's name with an E? So I can bring, that's hilarious though. Isn't that hilarious? I can bring a rare and 2 epics and Ice Blast, put them on an unkillable team and get 30 million. Or I can play around with a brand new legendary, 2 of them, and an epic. It's kind of sad, right? I don't like that. I mean, I really don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, I like that. I like that Ice Blast is strong, but being that they're strong, I want to see 2 new legendaries along with an epic do at least over them, like 35 million compared to 30 million. Is a little broken. Yeah, she is. She's a little broken. I want to put her up against Total Nan though. Total Nan. I want to do a good wild team and see what Total Nan can pull out compared to Girth. I definitely want to see that. Okay, let's bring in that rare though, just to see what that rare damage is. Let's see if that rare damage is 9 million. If it's 9 million and she's on par with Chitter, that's still pretty cool too. If that rare can do that kind of damage. Let's see what happens. And what other epics do we have? Corrosion. What are we looking at? Shadow? And then we'll play around with the Azul. Okay, here's the rare.
Is that it?
This guy definitely looks more of an AoE centric, right? Whenever an enemy dies, he gets shadow, so that's cool. If you play this guy where people are dying, I think that's nice. Goblins, this would be really good. Enemy dies, he gets 10 shadow. Here, he's going to do an orb that bounces. Grants 5 shadow for every bounce, I think. So that would be pretty strong for himself. And then here, I don't really know what this is going to ramp up to. Strikes an enemy within range over time. Each strike consumes 20 shadow energy. So that's 5 hits, right? I mean, that's a lot of damage for 5 hits. Each strike increases the damage of the subsequent strike by 10% up to 10. This could be a lot of damage though, right? For an ultimate? Those 5 hits are going to be even higher. That's like a huge ultimate multiplier. We'll try him next. I mean, we don't have that many more. I mean, it's like we try this rare, we try this epic, and then we've only got the legendary to do. So let's go.
How about joining me for a little fun?
Who was it? The rat?
How about joining?
Oh, we got to save it because we have to do our unkillable timings. Okay, we don't have to mess with their timings because we're going to have almost 100% uptime on decreased defense. That's it. Let's roll it. Do you plan on testing Aura? I absolutely do. Yeah. I like Aura. I have all the Auras, so I do want to test them out. And I don't feel confident on a couple of the legendary Auras. I feel like they suck. I feel like... what was his name? What's the kelp guy's name? Lincon or something like that? I feel like his is terrible. What is this? I feel like the fairy girl that gives 20% additional damage and keeps us in aura state might not be that great either because they just don't do a lot of damage. And for somebody who doesn't, even though they're trying to empower our team, they're trying to make our team do more damage. I get that, but if they don't do damage themselves, a lot of times that doesn't work out. You can't have somebody like increasing the damage of somebody, you know, your team wise. I mean, that's cool if you had like 5 DPSers and you're increasing 4 other DPSers, that's cool. But when you're on the Vortex boss and you normally only have, sometimes you only have 2 DPS, you might have 3 DPS, which is fine. And if one of those 3 DPS is trying to enhance the other 2, it just it doesn't work out, you know. If you can get them, what's that? The exclusive with, she always has crit rate, right? So you want to put a lot of critical damage on her. Yeah, she's fun. I'm playing her right now on my main account. If you can get them to 120 shadow energy before he fires his ultimate, he will do, who are you talking about? Midnight. Are you talking about Azul? Yeah, but we're comparing them on the test server. So, oh, I mean, we're comparing them on the Vortex boss. It's not hard to compare. We're trying to see who can do the most Vortex boss damage. You could then say that, yeah, but these guys do AoE damage, and you could be like, okay, that's fine, but we're not worried about AoE damage. We're worried about highest damage on the Vortex boss. If you want to use them for AoE damage somewhere else, sure, no problem. Where? Phoenix? Goblin? In-game boss? 8 days? Yeah, okay. It says that he costs 20 orbs. Yeah, he's only at 120 right now because he's not scrolled. So he's going to go to 20. He's going to go to 100, I'm sorry. It won't cost 120, right? Won't he go to 20? And then he'll do 5 orbs because he'll be at 100 to cast his ultimate. Because we don't have scrolls into him. Yeah, he's talking about the goblin guy. Yeah. But I think we get him down to 20 once we put scrolls into him. Let's see what Rifter wants to chat with us. Let's see what Rifter says over here. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear him? I don't hear him. Hold on. Rifter, are you there? I might have to, I don't know if it's some settings on here or what. I definitely need to turn down the volume on this boss behind us so we can hear Rifter, but I don't hear anything. I see you trying to say something because it's lighting up, but I don't hear anything. And I got the user volume all the way up. Hold on, let me go into general settings and make sure it's coming out the right areas, you know? Chat? No. Voice and video. There we go. Output device. Can you hear me now?
I guess no.
Oh, I can hear you now.
It might be a problem on my end. Oh.
No, it's not. I can hear you now. It was me. I need to do my output device to where we're at right now, to my headset to here. So, what's up, man? But I got to turn down the volume on. I don't know if they can hear you, but I got to turn down the volume on my boss battle, and I can't do that while I'm in it. But I can kind of hear you. I got you turned up all the way.
Gotcha.
Or is it capped? No, I don't think you can go past that.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
So I tried them all week. Okay. Yeah, I was playing them all week, right? Because I got Ozul, so I was like, all right,
Right.
you got it. Come on, you got the exclusive. You gotta try it. I think that Taldi and Asphalta, they do the same thing, right? So you can't, like, there's no point in using them both. Because Ozul, if you get attack speed on him, he does a really good job of keeping himself in demon form.
Right.
Even 20% from, what's the set, 15%? Just that and Taldi, it's almost 100% already.
100% of the time on his demon form, right? So what would you pair him with then?
He can't keep himself in demon form the entire time. But I had the same issue that, like, you're having, where those two guys are doing no damage. They're just batteries.
Right.
I think if you don't have Daphne, you're screwed.
To increase his damage. And give him more shadow.
And I don't know about the epics. I don't know if the epics are any good. You know, you're testing it. So,
Right.
Taldi and Asphalta. Like, Asphalta is less battery than Taldi, but she's got the captain. So if you need a captain, you use Asphalta. And then once your gear gets good enough, just Asphalta can keep Ozo in demon form. If you don't need the captain, you can use Taldi. It's a bit easier. Because I found that their damage, Taldi is a little bit less, Asphalta is a little bit more. It's not a big difference. You won't notice it. I don't even think you run 3 shadow. If you have Ozul, you try to get Daphne,
Mhm.
And if you can't, whatever, you run 2, and then you run 3 supports. This is Vortex, right? You run 3 supports to keep the run going as long as possible. 'Cause
Right.
Necrotic and Lightning kind of suck, right? It's hard to find a good Vortex support team.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
my thing. I did 13 million the day of reset with Paldi Asphalta, the Fire God, and Gary.
Right. Yeah. Right now you can use other teams to help out with your Vortex team. So then we could, I mean, you have to have something like, who do we use?
Yeah.
We use legendaries. Legendary support are
I
the
just-
only good support later on, like
if you look
Tauren.
at the damage, Ozil is doing like 70% of the whole team. The
Right.
other 2 shadow guys suck.
Usually that's what exclusive kind of do, though. I mean, somebody will run Beldel and they'll run, Shinna or something like that, and Beldel's pulling in like all the damage. Same thing with Flora, right? Flora's is
I
pulling
mean,
in.
it's
Like,
no different, right? It's no different
Right.
then.
yeah. We just need to see if there's some other ones that can help out, or at least some other ones we can use if we don't have Azul. So I just like to test them all out. Okay, so Azul, we just need additional attack speed, and then he can almost keep it up himself,
I
and
think
then
that one
Daphne with Azul.
Shadow Epic might be okay. The one that
There's just not a lot of good lightning support though, guys. Midnight. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no
I
like
think
good.
The whole I feel like they're all crap, and the whole thing just revolves around Azul.
Right. Which would be kind of sad. It's kind of sad that this season everything revolves around the exclusives only, and that we can't get any good other heroes. You know?
Yeah, it's super lame.
Yeah.
I wish they would. Yeah, I don't know.
And we'll see. Maybe they'll. I was gonna say maybe they'll do balancing. Yeah, right. Maybe they'll balance some of these heroes and make them better. Well, they just nerfed a lot of the Shadow too, though, which is weird.
Like I was watching someone's video, and they were talking about how if you don't have Rook, you can't make anything a corruption theme either. Corrosion, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Like Whisk does a lot of damage, right? Can't you do something with Whisk? Like if you got Whisk, for example, and some epics.
Yeah, you can. We just tested them yesterday, right here. If we have Whisk and Dargo along with Sacredia, you can do 33 million or more. This is just in. This is
Oh, you did. Oh, you done.
this 33 million is just in context with the same gear, the same guys. It doesn't mean you're going to do 33 million. It just means that compared to Sacredia, Dargo, Whisk down here, or compared to an Ice Blast team, this is going to be around the area you're going to be able to get. As far as not damage. We're not looking at the actual damage numbers. We're not trying to pull in 33 million on the boss. We're just saying that if you run Sacredia, Dargo, and Whisk together at in-game with in-game gear, whatever number you do get, it's going to be very comparable to Nord, Bledin, and Girth. And that's a rare in 2 epics. Now, if you have Shinna, Bledin, and Girth, whatever damage you do get it in-game with them, it's going to be well above what these do right
Yeah,
here.
well,
So, yeah. So that's all we're testing right now. And we'll see what Azul pulls in. We'll see what he pulls in
but at
compared
least
to.
it's something like if you hit those Legos, you have something you can do that it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're good legendary heroes. And like everybody's saying, they're good as far as AoE too. So they can be used in other places. Like Whisk is really good at AoE, but Dargo can do the damage that Whisk does. So that's awesome. We got an epic that's good. Puts up tons of corrosion. Even though Whisk is a legendary, it can excel at AoE damage along with corrosion. If you didn't have Whisk, at least you have an option with Dargo. So that's pretty cool. And we can see Dargo does like extremely well. You know, this gives us an idea, it gives people an idea. And even this
I don't know if you tested it, if you want to try it at some point, but like you can just use Daphne on anybody. Right?
Yeah, you can.
That's an idea you might want to make a video of.
Well, we already know Daphne.
On any DPS, just throw her in as like the third wheel.
Right. And we've seen that already. We've already tested that.
I mean,
Because you can see right here
Necrotic and Lightning.
from the difference from Daphne and Zapolta. We already talked about that probably like 30 minutes ago or so. That she increases the damage here. So really, Daphne kind of does.
Yeah, it's a huge,
14 million.
I wasn't sure about her, but it's a massive difference, right?
Yeah. Well, just on her own, Daphne would do 14 million. Like if you had to take the damage away from Espolta here at the top and you gave it to Daphne, because that's the increase she's giving her, because the only gear we traded was Daphne's gear to Chitter. See right here with these two. So that means Daphne increased her damage by 6 million. So that if you gave that 6 million back to Daphne, that means Daphne would be at 14 million. And enhance, you know, she could enhance anybody else by maybe 6 million, maybe by like 5 million or 4 million. So she's very strong, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And she's going to help out in other ways with...
It's too bad there aren't...
Shadow generation.
Too bad there aren't any you have summons or you have Azul for necrotic and that's it. You gotta screw it, right? There's not much in necrotic.
I've never played summons. Summons just don't work. Summons aren't good. So until they balance summons or give us some new summons we can, you know, use into there, unless you have Little Wanus, summons work, but they work on the in-game boss, right? AoE summons and all that kind of stuff. You make a summon team. You got to make a summon team anyways because you fight the 6 chief challenges. And the first time you fight the chief challenges, you have to make one team of every element. It doesn't necessarily have to be summons, but it has to be necrosis. Then you have to have all the other ones. So you do have to make a necrosis team. I guess it doesn't have to be summons. I take that back.
If anything, I think Daphne is just the best character out of all of them. Because she's also future-proof, right?
Yeah, she's sweet. She's always going to increase. Like anybody else that comes out that's really strong, you just slap her on it, right? And it just makes it even.
Because you just drop... Like, whatever affinity Shadow is paired with, yeah. Like,
yeah, could you imagine if you could drop her on Girthin?
I don't know what it is, but if it's an affinity with like a strong DPS, you just throw her on there.
Or what if you drop her on something like Girthin? Right? I don't think, can those two elements be together? If they could, but yeah, I know what you're saying, right? If there's somebody as strong as Girthin like that.
And ice yeah, they can.
Later on, when they get together, you just slap her on Girth, and Girth is just going to... Girth, Shinna, and Daphne, and it's like, boom. It's going to be nuts. So nuts. It's not going to get the additional shadow energy that she gives, but she's going to give the additional attack, so that's going to be pretty wild. I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out.
That'd be a crazy team.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
For sure.
All right, bud. I'm going to head out. I got to do some more testing. Appreciate it. We'll do Azul here in a minute, and we'll add some attack speed on him and see how we keep him in demon form.
Take care.
All right, bud. All right, so what do we get for numbers-wise? Let me type these in here. 24 million, so a little bit more than Chitter. Was this with the rare? Did she do more than Chitter? Oh, I'm excited if she did, man. That's pretty cool if she did. Let's see. I haven't looked yet. Like I said, it looked like she could, you know, maybe proc that ignore defense and do better than Chitter. Her moves look like they could have been better than Chitter. Maybe it's not her though. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. That rare pulled off 11 million. Same exact gear as Chitter. No difference. Same exact time as Chitter. Everything. She did more damage than him. Nice. Espolta should be around 10 million. Espolta is the exact same damage. Excuse me. Which she should be because she has a 100% chance to crit. She's doing the same rotation of moves. We're doing the exact same time. That shouldn't be very much of a variation. And then Toldi should do about the same damage as well. 2.4, he did 2.2 before. Okay, we're getting a weird variation with him though. Because he doesn't have a 100% chance to crit. That's the variation. Whenever your people don't have a 100% chance to crit, we're getting some different numbers in here. All right, let's look at what we got here. I like that rare. I mean, I don't know. I say I like that rare, but are they doing enough damage to make a difference though? I mean, really? As far as the team comp goes, let me see. What's that rare's name? Sifla? Is that how I say her name? Okay, check this out. Okay, so we changed nothing, which you would expect the same exact damage, right? We've got Taldi, no change whatsoever, little variation in damage because he doesn't have a 100% chance to crit, so it's going to fluctuate. As Polta has a 100% chance to crit, she's doing the same rotations. We're going to have very little variation there, which 10 million, 10 million. Chitter with a 100% chance to crit, same exact gear with the roots. She had gear number 3 set on, and she had roots on. So they're both taking full advantage of roots because they're not a legendary, but she's pulling in more damage than him. It's pretty cool because she is, and hers is going to fluctuate a little bit because, see, both of them get 30% additional shadow energy, 30 shadow energy for doing their battle skill, but she's hitting harder, 400%. He's only hitting like 250%. She gives attack increase up to all allies, 20% additional attack. Oh, she gave 20% additional attack only for 5 seconds every time her ultimate was up. I guess there's no increase. What? Look at this. Look at the increase. Is that what our increase is from? 20% additional. Let me check that when we play. I'm going to replay it really quick just for like 30 seconds and see for that attack. And then here, she's hitting 3 times for as much as he's hitting, but she's got a 50% chance to ignore 25% of the target's defense. It's a small AoE, single target, and she doesn't have the AoE that Chitter has, though. If you wanted to talk AoE. She doesn't have quite the AoE he has, right? See, he only deals 280 here instead of versus her 400. And he has to hit 2 targets or more to ignore 30% defense. Here, they're doing the same amount of damage, right? 243 times, but she has a chance to ignore some defense. Oh, he's supposed to do this, right? 4% max HP. Maybe this is where we're messing up. Deals additional 4% max HP whenever the hero's skill deals damage. I need to go to the test dummy to see this because there's too much going on for me to see it anywhere else. I need to see this additional 4%. Is it his max HP, right? Deals additional 4% max HP of his max HP. But all his moves are based off of attack, so it's not like we're going to load up this guy with crazy HP. He's kind of dumb. I don't mean he's not kind of dumb. I think somebody messed up when they made him. I think somebody really messed up because he's got Enlightenment, which does nothing. He's got max HP damage here, which doesn't go along with his attack percentage damage. So it makes me think like somebody just threw some abilities on this guy and forgot to go change it. Or they started changing him and they forgot to finish it. But yeah, with this additional damage, you would think he would do more than her. But if it's 4% of his max HP, he doesn't have a lot, so it's not... I mean, 4% of... What's he got total? He might have like 50,000. What's 4% of 50,000? Can't be a lot of damage. Oh yeah, let me run this really quick. I just want to see that 20% attack up. It's when she does her ultimate, right? Here we go. It's only 5 seconds. It's only for her? It says all allies. I was wondering. I was like 20% additional attack to Taldi and Aspalta should be a much, much larger range of damage. She's only doing 20% attack up for herself for 5 seconds. Dude, that's a lie. Okay, they need to fix that. She would be actually pretty good then. She would increase their damage. Like the damage that we saw there, she would increase it. Okay. Did anybody report this? I'm sure people maybe reported this or something. It doesn't on my game? Yeah, it doesn't on ours either right now. It's not working. Let me, Rare, Shadow, Hero. What's her name? Sifla. States she applies 20% attack to all allies for 5 seconds. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, then I guess this doesn't matter me. Why do they nerf her, man? They're always like nerfing somebody. Okay, so the live server says only herself, huh? Okay, still that's why she's picking up the damage over our boy over there. Although he does 4% of his max HP whenever he does his skills. She's giving herself 20% additional attack for 5 seconds, so that's helping out. Man, this would have been really cool on everybody. Okay, it only says herself on live server. All right, I'm still not mad at her. I still think she does really well. For a rare, I think she does exceptionally well. We were looking at, if we want to compare her to somebody, we can compare her a rare to somebody like Nord. She's pulling in 11 million, although Nord's helping everybody out. Nord is pulling in 7.4 million. If we want to compare her to even Bledin with the statue on is pulling in 10 million with gear set 3, and I think she has gear set 3 on. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty good. I mean, she's a rare with roots, gear set 3. He's an epic with gear set 3 with statue on, and statue really helps him out because he's doing his battle skill over and over, and he's at 10 million. So I think she is actually a pretty phenomenal rare. I mean, she's pulling 11 million. That's the same as Dargo. Dargo with roots, by the way. Same as Dargo with roots. She's got roots. A little bit more than Dargo. Still think she's a pretty exceptional rare. I just wish we had some other people to put with her. Somebody like Girth to put with her, and that would bring the damage up to 30 million. If as Polta pulled in 16 million on her own right there, that would be 30 million, and then we'd be up here around the Ice Blast people. And around the 2 legendaries with Dargo. But Espolta just doesn't do it, huh? It's kind of unfortunate. But what if we put Daphne in here? What if we put Daphne to enhance her? I bet we're going to go to 30 million. I really don't understand the Shadow nerf. I don't understand why they nerfed them so much either. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it is. It is. All right, let's go ahead and put Daphne in here with our rare, the way she is right now. Okay, and we're about to see 30 million. Which I think is pretty good if somebody's got an epic, a rare, and a legendary. And they have Daphne. I think that team's actually pretty good for 30 million. Straight. I wonder what Eyeball does on her. It's weird. Like, Eyeball is weird on certain heroes like this who do something so fancy. You're not sure if it's going to work or not. Let me read over her ultimate again. Okay, plenty of crit. Possesses for 15. So sometimes when they have weird stuff like this, it'll say, like Zorak. Let's take Zorak for instance. Zorak for 15 seconds will give somebody his passive. And the eyeball does work. The eyeball works on Shaltar. You wouldn't think the eyeball would work on Shaltar because he does only derivative damage and all his other allies hit, but the eyeball actually does just as much damage as anybody else. It's crazy. Oh, so she can get into her possessed form more often? Huh? What? She doesn't need Instant Burner so that her ultimate is faster? I don't think Instant Burner has anything to do with Shadow Energy. I don't think it's going to work on Shadow Energy. We can try that, though. That's interesting to see if it would lower it by 80, but I don't think so. By 20? I don't think Instant Burner would have any sway on this. The Candle would lower this battle skill, but not Instant Burner. And we want more attack on her anyways. So possessed for 15 minutes, during which time the possessed target deals necrotic damage, which can crit to nearby enemies. The possessed target gains 35% of her attack. Okay, so we would increase this damage. I guarantee we'd increase this 80% attack damage, but that's not going to be that much. 8% of the damage goes right in the healing, okay? We'll try it, though. We'll try Eyeball and just see what happens. She'll pop over to her. This girl's going to have way more attack than anybody else. And we'll just let them do their moves. How to make Daphne possess the same target every time? As long as they have the highest attack, she'll possess him. It should say that. They should put that in her description. I just think she has a long description, so they didn't put it in there. Yeah, but highest attack, for sure. But like other people were saying, if they get decreased attacked, maybe they were playing somebody in arena and they got decreased attack, so it went to another target. Because then somebody else had the highest attack. Which, if they saw that happen, they should have kind of known that, maybe. Yeah, they know now, you know. Real time, right. Well, of course, because she casts that ultimate at different times. So if she casts that ultimate right when she casts that ultimate, if whoever at that time has the highest attack will be possessed, right? Let's see if the eyeball has any kind of change on her at all. We are using a different gear set. You know what we should have done? We should have... Let me do something so we can kind of keep it consistent. So I can see what damage numbers... Daphne, before when we tested her, always had set 3. No, that's okay. We'll just keep the same set on. We just won't do any changes to her and see. That's fine. Again, it's a difference of 400 additional attack and 7 critical damage between these set 1 and set 3. Still 100% chance to crit. So Daphne's the best, like Rifter said, Daphne's the best one to have without a doubt, because we can put Daphne on anybody, right? Anybody. Who do we want to slap Daphne on? Girth? We could slap Daphne on Girth right now, although it wouldn't work for a 3-team bonus. We could slap Daphne on somebody that goes with poison or goes with lightning right now, because we've got Ogok and Zephy back there. So if we did do 2 DPS or support in DPS, if there was a really cool support in DPS that went with lightning or poison, that would be fun. Throw Daphne in there and see what happens. Who is the craziest damage dealer in lightning? Shaltar? What would she do with Shaltar? She would increase his damage by 35%, which would make his ultimate. Do you think it would go crazy if she possessed Shaltar? Well, the problem with Shaltar is we need other Dauntless. We need more than one other Dauntless in there doing their ultimate after he does his ultimate. So that's not going to work as well. I'm trying to think of outside of legendaries. I know there's plenty of legendaries. There's plenty of legendaries that do high damage, single target damage. All the Dauntless legendaries do, right? But outside of legendary, we don't have anybody in lightning. In poison, we have her possessed Rook. We get somebody to bring in enough corrosion, and then we have Daphne possess Rook. That'd be funny. Is that when he couldn't be targeted? They couldn't target, like he had this thing where he couldn't be targeted right before, single target damage. He could be AoE, but not single target, and then they removed that, right? Yeah, but he couldn't be killed? I thought he just couldn't be... Well, that made it so he couldn't be killed, right? So nobody would single target attack him, and then there's not enough AoE going on to kill him. Is that what it was? That's pretty broken on an exclusive, though. If he's doing that much damage and then you can't even target him, that's pretty, it's pretty crazy. That's not too cool, man. Let me kill him. Okay, do you think this is going to increase? I mean, we already know Toldy's going to do 2.2 million. 2.2, 2.4 million, that's what he always does, right? No matter what team we have him on, that's what he's breaking out. Right? Toldy at 2.7, 2.2, 2.4. So that's what he's going to do. We didn't change gear. As Pulta's out, Daphne's in. She's with gear set 1, though, now with the eyeball. We don't know if the eyeball's really doing much at all. We'll see at the end of this. And then we've got this girl again. Same with Roots. This is her. And if we got 24 million with this team, if Daphne's going to pull in the 8, well, if Daphne's going to pull in 14, I mean, this is what really should happen, right? Just from the numbers we've seen so far. Daphne pulled in an additional 8 million? Oh, it was 8 million, right? No, 6 million. Pulled an additional 6 million. I don't know if she's gonna pull an additional 6 million off of our girl there. Maybe. But if she pulls an additional 6 million, this should be 30 million, right? This should be 30 million total right now. And we might have to change out the eyeball to get some more damage. We'll see. But I'm guessing this. You're doing Venom 9 on full auto? Congrats, my man. What team are you using? What do you got over there? Shaltar with Azul? Is he hitting? How fast is it? I mean, he'd have to hit like extremely fast. Not only would he have less of a chance to proc Shaltar's ability because he's not Dauntless, he would have to be attacking extremely fast. I mean, like Tharvel fast. You know how Tharvel, when he fires that bonus, it's like, or when Nimbus does his ultimate and he's got attack speed and you just see him kind of like fire off his little flying wings, kind of stuff like that. Yeah, I already said that Daphne on Shaltar would be interesting, but the problem with Daphne on Shaltar is we need more Dauntless to proc Shaltar. And then we have one of our DPSers possessing him, so that's less people attacking. We would need somebody like Tharvel with Shaltar. We need whoever can do the most hits, honestly. We just need somebody that can blow so many fast hits when Shaltar does that. And we can only do 3, right? We can't do more than 3. So it would be fun, though. It would be fun to slap Daphne on Shaltar for sure to see if an increase would happen. Like taking out Nimbus or taking out Sutha. How would it work? But then we also need somebody to do decreased defense. So it's really hard to find all of that. Right, we need somebody to put up Witch's Remains. Who's going to do that? If we put Witch's Remains on Daphne, what happens when she does her ultimate? Oh, does that let the person apply Witch's Remains? She's not continually doing damage when she possesses. She only increases their attack. No, she does. She does this little slap damage that's not derivative. Whoa! Daphne might be able to have... She does do damage. Yeah, she does damage that's not derivative damage either. It's just like the little slap damage for 80%. So she might be able to apply Witch's Remains while possessing somebody. That'd be pretty wild. We could still jack up her attack really high. Let's try that. I wonder if she can. That'd be pretty crazy. Then we can get rid of this little dude over here doing 2.4 million. Although he's giving us a lot of shadow energy, sure. Daphne over attack? Yeah. If she can actually replace somebody who's doing 2.2 million, absolutely. We'll still load her up with tons of attack with different gear. We would re-gear her differently. But if she can do that, then yes, I would want it on her so I could get rid of this guy and bring in somebody that can pull in like 10 million instead of 2 million. Because she actually goes into her form pretty often. But it could be all due to Taldi, though. Taldi's over here being our shadow generating machine. Without him, everything could fall apart, right? It'd be interesting to see, though. It'd be interesting to see if she could do it, and I'd like to try it with 0 accuracy to see if she could do it, and then I'd like to try it with accuracy. Just to see if it works. Maybe it doesn't work at all. Who knows? Hey, where's our 30 million? I don't see our 30 million, but we've got a ways to go if Toldi's only at 1.3. He's nowhere near his 2.2, so I say we got a ways to go, but we're already up at 100, so this damage is going to be low. This damage is going to be exceptionally low, so maybe Daphne's... Maybe we got to... Let's put Daphne back. I don't know why it's this low. I don't even record these numbers. It's so low. It's weird because even with Daphne here, this rare is doing the same damage she did with Espolta. But Espolta does... How often... I mean, you got to think. Espolta is giving us shadow energy when she does her ultimate, which is pretty often. It's a whole shadow energy creating machine. You got to have it all working together. Tuldi's feeding her, she's feeding Tuldi, they're feeding each other. She's doing her ultimate quite often, as Spalta is, and then that's giving everybody else the ability to do their ultimates more often. And that's kind of what we need in the shadow team. This is weird though. It's weird that she's going to do 11 million again with Daphne possessing her. On her ultimate skill or battle skill, but her shadow regen. Yeah, but she does it often, right? I mean, all of it together, it's all a shadow generating machine. That's the thing. You've got multiple ways with two heroes there with Tuldi and Spalta to generate a lot of shadow. Now, if we don't need that, like you said with Azul, if we don't need that, if we just need a little bit of attack speed to keep Azul into demon state, that's a different gameplay. We don't have anybody like that we're using right now. But yeah, this is strange. Strange that we couldn't get... We'll put the numbers down, but I want to change her out of the eyeball and see... Put her back in roots. Yeah, we had her in roots before up here at the very top. Let's put her in roots and put this little girl in the eyeball. 21. What's going on? Yeah. But we're not trying to get the most damage out of anybody. We're just trying to get a baseline damage. But if you wanted to get all that attack speed you're talking about, additional attack speed, yeah, attack speed on all these people, absolutely, if we can. I mean, we don't want to build them dumb, like really dumb while we're testing, but we want to keep them kind of in line with how we're testing the other people too. We don't want to get too crazy with changing too much gear, you know, or getting away from our 100% crit rate and crit rate gloves, 30% additional damage, 35% additional damage gloves that we have on. We don't want to get away from all that. We kind of want to keep it all the same, but there will be plenty of people that we're going to need to test differently. Like we need to test Flora differently. We have to test Avelius and Nesjinka differently. We have to gear them totally differently. Even Girthin should be geared differently in Bledin, but we didn't. We kept them with the same gear on, and they still blew everything away. And we could gear them better. We could gear them much better because we're rolling with 100% crit rate on Girth and Bledin, and we don't need to. We could be at 80 and give them additional attack or critical damage. So really, their numbers could be higher. But some people we have to. Like the ones like Shaltar. I couldn't run this gear on Shaltar and expect them to have decent damage numbers so that we could compare it. We just can't do that. We'll have to do different gear for him. 100% have to do different gear. What did this girl run at? Like she did the... How could she be getting 35% additional attack from Daphne and still pull off the same numbers? Like sometimes this stuff doesn't make sense to me. There's no way. It's like she's possessing her, but something's not working right. I'm telling you, something's broken right here. He pulled off 1 point. Why is he going? He's going down so much. Why is our boy going down? He had the same gear on that he had before. They went the same number of rounds. Something's off. Something is definitely off this run that we did. I don't know what's off, but something is weird. There's no way. So we've got Syphila, is that was her name? Syphila here doing the same amount of damage she did without Daphne possessing her. And then we got Daphne possessing her. With the roots on, she'll probably do this much damage. It's impossible. We went 150 rounds with Daphne possessing her, and she only upped her damage by 700,000. Impossible. Okay, let me see. So for this one, we had Daphne with set 3 roots. So that means we need to take the rare.
How about joining me for a little fun?
Let's give her eyeball. Her damage is going to drop because she's eyeball from roots, because roots gives double the... But her damage will go up a little bit because we're getting 400 additional attack and 7% additional critical damage on this set. Critical damage, attack, okay. We don't need to worry about timing because our boy is going to have it up 100% of the time. It's just impossible. It's impossible that she possessed her like 50 times, increased her damage by 35%, or increased her attack by 35%, and then did only... It's just impossible. There's no way. I feel like she was possessing her and not really doing anything. There she goes, possessing her again. I'd have to look at her damage numbers, but it's impossible. Yeah, 35% of her attack is the bonus. You're right. But even with 35% of her attack to her, I don't think that... I mean, well, here's the thing, right? The main thing is we had Daphne possess Apolta up here, and the difference in damage was 6 million. Now, again, we got a lot of generating shadow here, like a lot of it. So they're all... Okay, that's probably the thing. There's so much generation of shadow here with Taldi, Espolta, and Daphne that she's probably able to possess more often. But it still increases. Like, here's the same gear. Look, Espolta has 16 million and 10 million. Same exact gear, but a 6 million different swing with Daphne there. So you're telling me Daphne on this girl only increased her by 700,000 or less than that, actually? Like 600,000. But did 6 million up here? No. Something's wrong. Something didn't work out right here. Now we're doing less because we're not generating as much shadow for the whole entire team, which I understand that because we don't have this Polta in here and everybody's cycling through and adding more shadow, but no way she could only go up by that much. It's impossible. If it's only like 2 million because we're not cycling through everything as quickly instead of 6 million, I could get that. But not this low. Why does it keep showing me? It keeps showing me somebody's in my general chat and it won't go away. The red dot. Oh. That remove it? Remove this red dot, man. It's giving me this red dot and oh, mark is red? Okay, I'll mark everything as red. Okay, let's see if it does anything. It's hard to check numbers here. Yeah, well, we'll be able to check by the end. Yeah, we can't see single numbers, right? We can't see what she hit for on her ultimate or her battle skill or just normal attacks. And then when she gets possessed, what she's hitting for. Yeah, we can't see that here. Way too hard. I'm just going to run this one more time and just see if there's any change. If not, then I don't know what to think about it. We'll see what we get for these total numbers. And then we can start playing around with Azul. All right, so Witch's Remain is proccing off Daphne while she possesses a target. It is? Gory Dean? Okay. That sounds pretty sweet. That sounds pretty damn sweet, man. Because she does do damage, so it should. Look, 35% of her having 5,000 attack versus her having 4,000 attack. It's not going to be that big of a number. It's a number, right? It's a number, but we're able to remove somebody who's doing decreased attack. We're able to take somebody that would be doing Witch's Remains and take that hero out completely. Because she does so many hits. Like, she's doing multiple hits with that Witch's Remains on her. And then her with... Did you try without any accuracy and see if it worked? I'm sure she has to have it. But we don't need a lot, right? Especially against the Vortex boss. When we go up to higher Vortex boss, we've got our elemental advantage out. And we don't need that much. We don't even need an accuracy right side rune at that point. We just need a couple accuracy substats. We get accuracy from Witch's Remains. And we could still go with an attack on the right hand side with accuracy substat, crit rate substat, whatever we can find. Yeah, well, I like to test things because you never know how... It's a different mechanic. You just never know how sometimes it might work out. Yeah. Should it require? It always requires accuracy. We know that. We know everything requires accuracy. Any debuffs, any crowd control, any of that kind of stuff, it requires accuracy unless stating that it doesn't. Like, it can't be resisted like we have with Sonarl. But you got to test it because the way they code these things, you never know. And it could fly off the accuracy of the person that it's being applied to, like who she's possessing, which I doubt that. But again, it's still... Only way for your taking Toldi out. So, right. So now we take out Toldi. But Toldi is a shadow generating machine. When we take him out, even though he's only doing 2.2 million, are we going to do more damage? I think we will. I think if we put this rare in or chitter in with Aspulta as well as Adolphus and we run them with Daphne, Aspulta, and chitter or this rare, and we have Daphne with Witch's Remains, I think overall we're going to do more damage. I'm hoping we're going to do over 30 million. Let's go. Let's see what happens. We need someone that grants shadow energy to everyone. Well, that's Aspulta, right? And then Daphne's giving shadow energy to whoever she possesses, which will be Aspulta. So that's good. So we got Aspulta giving shadow energy to all of us more often. How do we get Daphne to possess more often? Because you can see that Daphne will possess somebody and then she has to wait. Like, she resets when she comes out, right? Where is she? Come on out. Where is she at? Okay, she's out. She's back in pretty quick though. And I'm wondering too, is she kind of like Casper? Does she keep reapplying decreased defense? Does she only try it that first time and you see decreased defense up? Or when she's possessing and doing those multiple attacks, is it kind of like Casper or somebody like that where they keep trying to reapply it? Most people with multiple hits just reapply it that just apply it one time. Once it's applied, they don't try to reapply. Like, you never see it refresh. There's very few people like Casper, whenever he does his ultimate, because you got to wait for a wild proc and then he does more damage, he'll keep reapplying. At least that's what I've been told. And I think there's another one like that too that will do that. So I'm wondering with her, will she keep trying to reapply it? Because if she did, then we could have 100% uptime because she'd apply it later on before she ghosted out. And that would cover the time that she's out. And then when she jumps back in, she'd try to reapply. Right, it doesn't usually refresh. It takes a very unique hero to do that. And the way the mechanic works to do that. Looks like no refresh. Okay, I was hoping. We're about to find out when we try out, but I was hoping. This is going to be the same damage. I don't know what's going on. I just don't feel like she's giving her any kind of bonus when she possesses her. I I mean, I see the little icon. Look, you can even see an icon right here. It says it has an attack. Oh no, that's hers. I thought there was another one. It says possessed. She's possessing somebody. Dead? Whoa, what's up with that? Were we not running with a correct unkillable? Okay, regardless, I don't know what's going on. I'm not worried about it. Okay, let's go have some fun with Daphne in this fashion that we're talking about. So we would bring out him. Shadow, right? Yeah, Shadow.
It's too late to ask for mercy.
Okay, she only gives it to herself. 30. And then ignore some defense. He only gives 30 to himself. We didn't try out this epic yet to see what he could slap for with this multiple hit. Whenever somebody dies, he gets shadow energy. Here he only gives 5. So he wouldn't get a lot of shadow energy for himself to build up. But I bet this would be nasty, right? Unkillable with Daphne as the one doing decreased defense, and then these in here. That would be pretty good with Azul, I would assume.
Is that it?
Okay, we'll leave the eyeball on her because if we put roots on her, she will have the highest attack. I'm pretty sure.
From time to time, I wonder, what's on every change if I kill City?
Critical damage. Okay, we'll worry about her artifact in a second. Hold on. I want to see what everybody's attacks at first. Okay, she's going to go to a gear set that gives us a little accuracy, which is gear set 2. But it's the same as everybody else's gear set. Crit rate's up to 100%. She doesn't have attack here, so we're not really... I mean, we're still at 4,250. That's still a lot, right? We just need to look for some accuracy substats. It's not really the ones I was looking for, though. Attack with accuracy, this is all we have. Okay, equip that. 20 accuracy there and crit rate. She's at 10... I mean, she'd be at 208 with our elemental advantage. Is 208? Is 208 high enough? How many hits does she do during that whole entire time? 15 seconds every second. So this girl's got 15. I don't know. She should have 100% uptime. She's 15 seconds possession. Not 100% because she takes so much time when she jumps out. We'd have to, because she doesn't reapply it. She doesn't reapply it, so no. It's going to drop off at 10 seconds. She's still going to be possessing for 5 seconds, so it's kind of weird on this one. We want her to jump out earlier and jump back in because it doesn't reapply. Unfortunate. Still kind of like a normal hero would do. A normal hero would have a 20-second cooldown. They'd apply it for 10 seconds. We'd have to wait some time, so that's kind of what's happening here. Dungeons. Okay, so she's got good gear on her. We could increase her attack, but we're going to keep her high damage. And she still does damage here on this skill, right? She does 3 hits. And generates the shadow energy for the possessed. Here. And does this damage. Okay. And then our little girl here needs to have...
Joining me for a little fun.
Gear set 3, right? Yep. She's at 100%. 4,149.
The nobles have trampled on my family since I was a child, and I'm the sole survivor.
That's less, right? 4,630? Wasn't it? Didn't she have more? 630.
I must. How about joining me for a little fun?
I took the eyeball off her. If I put roots, she's gonna be way over. If I put roots, this is gonna jump way past that, right? I think Daphne's gonna possess her. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess it would be fine if she actually did damage. Like, there'd be no problem because they both do the same amount of damage. It would actually be okay. But we do want her doing her ultimate more often. And we do get shadow energy. Okay, so we definitely want to go to Espalta.
How about joining me?
So let's just get this girl's attack speed up so she can do her ultimate more often. Maybe that'll be pretty interesting. We could either do the horseshoe, which is fine. Attack plus critical damage, and she gets a chance to get her attack speed up so she can get more shadow energy to do her ultimate more often. We'd have to re-gear her to use the dragon's blood because she's getting 20% crit. So I'm just going to go horseshoe. Get that attack speed boost and get her ultimate up more often. And that'll drop her down. Okay, now we need to make a team. And then if she doesn't perform well, we'll bring in Chitter, right? Okay, this is going to be a bit different. We can't time this out because they're all getting shadow energy, so we don't know when they're actually doing their ultimate. I have no idea. With her giving shadow energy, with her possessing, I have no idea when the ultimate's going to go down. Or when decrease defense is going to be up. Let's just see it. I tend to use Dragon's Blood. Strictly 80% crit rate. Yeah, somewhere around 80% crit rate would be great. I mean, we could put it on her. It'd be fine. It'd give her that attack speed increase, which would really help out. It'd be a constant attack speed increase instead of us trying to proc it. I don't know how often this one procs. Because it's a basic attack proc, right? And normally that doesn't proc that often, to be honest. It's got a pretty low proc rate. It's much better on like Dauntless, right? I still don't even see it up on her. It's pretty sad right now. There's the attack speed increase. But there's a cooldown. There's like a 15-second cooldown too. Yo, Deadbolt, what's up, my man? How you doing? Thanks so much for the sub, man. Appreciate the love. Let's go. 35 months strong. I haven't seen decreased defense, but I have not been looking. Anybody seeing that? My man, what are you doing? You on that Dragonheir? You on that uncommon account? What are you playing? You better not be on that Raid Shadow Legends uncommon account. There we go. Decreased defense. Okay, let me see this really quick. Decreased defense was just applied. She's possessing still. It's dropping off, so that should be 5 more seconds of possession, somewhere around that. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Well, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. No, it's frozen again. Okay, she's out. So, kind of 10 seconds every 20 seconds if you want to equate it to a normal hero that would apply it. Which means we could have the crown on this girl right here. How many times is she hits 3 times on her ultimate, right? So we could put the crown, but then to line them up so that the crown, it's going to be hard. Man, how do you do that with shadow? Because everybody's giving each other shadow. Like, I just have no idea how it would. Let me see if Daphne's actually doing it at a certain time. Okay, there's decreased defense right after the boss, right in between the boss's second ability and third ability. Let's see if she stays in there for decreased defense. I don't think she does. She hasn't even popped out yet. Okay, so it's more than 20 seconds. Because if she applied it right around this time, this would be 20 seconds. So she's not. It's far more than that. So while she's doing decreased defense, it's more like every 25 seconds she's applying decreased defense for 10 seconds. How's the new ice event hero? Which one? The new legendary that we can get for the chief challenges. She's like a dwarf, ice dwarf that can do AoE damage, put up shields. That one. She's great, man. I think she's awesome. Do I need her really on my account for anything? No, but I'm going to go after her because it's the funnest time of the season to play. You've got all the new chief challenges coming out, so you do teams to fight them. Plus, it gives you a reason to do a little more summons on the banner, plus get additional rewards for those summons. I'll do 40 dice on that banner, get all those rewards, pick up a legendary, be after to go after her and get a legendary too from doing the chief challenges, getting like 7 million to 11 million. Be really easy with 40 summons. And then she does AoE damage. She has a 75% chance to freeze for 3 seconds, which is really cool. And then she puts up shields on your team. And then with her passive, anytime your shield, people that are shielded take damage, she gets a chance to apply decrease attack. She looks fun. I can't remember what her battle skill does. Something about maybe taking off shields or blocking shields or doing damage. I don't remember. But yeah, she looks fun. And I always go after those heroes. Why not? They're not necessarily free unless you have 40 gold dice. If you have 40 gold dice, you're going to pick up a legendary anyways, right? 1 out of every 35. You're at least going to hit that pity. You're going to get all those rewards. I think it's some scrolls, some like artifact rank up material, and then I'm going to get another legendary from doing the event. So it's worth it for me. Okay, this is not a lot of damage again. I'm wondering if we messed something up with Daphne to where she's not working right. I mean, overall at 35 stacks at 11 million, how many times have we been here at 35 stacks, 11 million? This is either like 24 million or I don't know. It's just too many times I've said 40 stacks and we've been somewhere around 11 million. And I don't know if that's a lot or a little. We definitely need somebody else applying. Yeah, this decreased defense isn't working out is what it comes down to. And we don't have Toldi in here giving us all that shadow, generating all that additional shadow. If this decreased defense was more consistent and not every 25 seconds, if we could actually keep it up, even 10 seconds every 20 seconds, it would be way better. But this is definitely... Because look, there it just fell off right here. Okay, this one she must have applied it late because she just jumped out. She's probably going to reapply it around the same time. Because she's going to possess soon. There she went. She possessed. And she just... Okay, she applied it early that time. She applied it for 10 seconds. In that time, like an 18-second span. Okay, it just fell off here. Remember, the whole boss rotation is 20 seconds. So if she doesn't apply it by the time we get back to that cursor, that's over 20 seconds. I guess she's in a good groove right now because it looks like she's going to be doing it every... Yeah, it looks like she's okay. She's back in. She's got a couple hits. You know, oh, there it is again. Yeah, she's applying it 10 seconds within... Oh, I guess a little bit more since she's... No, it's the same as everybody else, right? I guess it's longer because we're looking at... That's when she applied it, so that's when she would need to apply it again. She's going back in right at 20 seconds, but she's not really... Depends on her hit, right? She's hitting while possessing, but it's not always applying it until now. So that took... maybe like 25 seconds. I think it's 10 seconds every 25 seconds or so. It's not as good as a regular person doing it. It's definitely not as good as Toldi doing it at 100% uptime. For sure not as good as that. Yo, Sniper Monkey, what's up, my man? How you been? You been doing that stream, Raiders? Hope you and the fam are good, my man. You been playing any first-person shooters? I haven't logged into Call of Duty in about a month. I've been too busy. I've been busy with this game and other games, so I've been too busy to play Call of Duty. Because if I play, it's hard for me to stop. It's for 10, yeah, every 25, 30 seconds. It's somewhere around there, right? It's not, it's nowhere near as good as a normal player, a normal 20-second rotation. Applying it, yeah, nowhere near as good. For 10 seconds every 20 seconds. No, 10 seconds every, yeah. And overall damage, we're just not doing too hot at all. Like, we're not doing good. This is bad. Considering we got the same gear on all these people that we've used the whole entire time, it's pretty sad. Overall damage. I just don't understand why her damage is so low on whoever she's possessing still. I feel like something got bugged. I really do. Or the first time we ran it with Daphne, she was extremely strong. I don't get this. Or she was bugged in when we ran it. Okay, so right now she's got gear set 2 with Witch's Remains. Espolta has Ion with gear set 1. Sifla has gear set 3 with Horseshoe. We're not even going to get 21 million. Maybe somebody can catch up to Ice Blast by season 5. Yeah, I hope so. I hope somebody. Well, Rook can, but he's an exclusive, right? When we got again Ice Blast with a rare and 2 epics is just, it's too good, right? It's really nice to have some Ice Blast heroes. If we reran this with our rare doing... I think it would be better off if we ran it with the rare with Witch's Remains on. Because the rare would keep it up probably pretty often. Let's test it. I don't know as much as... She can cycle through her abilities quick with everybody else giving her shadow energy. And she does good damage. She's got 3 hits on that. How many hits does... Chitter has 3 hits too, right? Same, I think. Espolta pulled in... bad numbers. And Daphne with Witcher's Remains... Let's try to recreate what we did before, though. If we're getting such bad numbers now, let's try to recreate that very first one. And see what happened. We still got to bust Azul into all of this, right? So, the very first one up here at the top had Daphne with Roots. Is that... You know, we've used Daphne with Eyeball down here. We've used no Daphne in these. So the only one that we really saw Daphne shine is up here at the top for 28 million. It's the highest damage we got as well. Let's recreate this and see if that damage is the same, or recreate this with a different person over here. I think we should recreate the whole thing and see if it works. Yeah, but how well though? Like, what is his damage going to be compared to these other people? That's what the real reason of this whole spreadsheet is. Is he an actual really good exclusive, or is he just an exclusive that's going to give us girth and numbers? I don't know. I want to know, but I don't know yet. We'll find out. But I do want to run this team again. I want to run this team right here with the same gear. At least once. Really quick. And then we'll move on to Azul. So just give me one more run.
What? You need my help? If you have a query to ask of me, it would be best you think very carefully.
Okay. Now she had on gear set 3 with roots. With attack and attack. Okay, perfect.
The nobles have trampled on my family since I was a child.
She had on gear set 1 with eyeball, which she does. Okay. Okay, now this simple team right here, not very many adjustments, is going to bring in 28 million instead of 20 or 21 or 24 that we had before. It's supposed to. Oh. $14. 26. Okay, here we go. I'm looking for this 28 million that we had at the top, and I'm looking for this increased damage of Aspolta, like this serious increased damage of her. Because I don't know what's going on down here when we have Daphne in Witch's Remains. Okay, fine. And then... I wonder if we do... Well, it wouldn't make sense to have Daphne and Witch's Remains with his Polta and then have Taldi like full damage, full DPS. You're doing good, my man. That's good to hear. Yeah, everybody's great right now. We have the time off from school. The kids do. My wife's at work, but she got to come home early yesterday. She's going to be off Sunday. We got a Cherry Blossom Festival not too far away from the house. It's like a walk away for this Cherry Blossom Festival. It goes from our train station to the next train station, and all along that road are big cherry blossom trees hanging over the road. Really pretty road to like ride your bike down or walk, that kind of stuff. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of vendors out there selling all sorts of Japanese food, Japanese desserts, bananas with chocolate, dipped in chocolate with sprinkles on it. What else do they eat? You know, all sorts of little kid stuff. So my son's going to be off doing his stuff with his friends there at the festival. My daughter's going to be with her friends, I think, hanging out with us. Should be a good day. It's supposed to be sunny. It's been really rainy this morning and last night, so it's supposed to clear up. And it's supposed to be hot too, like 70. Lately it's been 50s. We'll get like a few good days of 60s with clear skies, and it's beautiful. 60, 65 clear skies, and then it'll just go cold again. And then I think now, since we're at the very end of March, we're going into April. We're supposed to start to get good warm weather. We're going to have 70 tomorrow and 70 on Sunday. Right at 70, 71. With partly cloudy. So it should be really nice. I'm ready for 70-degree weather, but I'm not ready for 90-degree weather. Like 70 is cool, but I don't need any 90s. 80, 85 is cool, especially if you go to a pool. But I don't know. I used to love the heat, man. I used to go out and play basketball for 8 hours a day in the sun in Florida. Like the sun was down, 90-degree weather. We're out there playing basketball forever, sweating like a dog. And then even here in Japan, I was running around last year and the years prior to that in the heat, loving it. Something happened like last year. I can't take the heat anymore. We'll see if it happens again this year. But the heat is too much for me. And I love heat. on both her attack skills, and I can't see any reason for to benefit. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see any reason for it's a difference in damage. You can't have 30%, 35% additional attack from somebody, and then your damage only go up over the course of this long battle, only go up by 500,000 or 600,000. When I do it on this run, and the damage difference is like millions, multiple millions. If that's what happens on this run again, we'll see. We're 15 stacks at 8. It looks good. It looks good. It looks really good. Looks like it's in line with what we're supposed to be doing. But again, it's a whole group effort. You've got Toldi, Aspalta, and Daphne, 3 of the best shadow generating heroes out there. Those other rares and other epics we can play don't generate shadow for other people. So Daphne does, which feeds Aspalta, and Aspalta feeds everybody. And Toldi feeds everybody, and Aspalta feeds Toldi, who's feeding everybody. Who's feeding Daphne, who feeds Aspalta, who feeds Toldi. It's all a cycle, right? They're all feeding each other, so we're going to have way more damage. And that means more Daphnes going into possession form to possess Aspalta, but that much more? I don't think so. Enough that down here, this girl only gets, where was it? A change of 11 million to 11.8 million, 11.1 to 11.8? No way. But I guess, I mean, it's strong. Everybody here supporting each other is extremely strong. No, we don't use the captive skill on any of these. We only use resistance from Ogak up here at the very top. Again, it's not about the number of damage number. It's about the damage number compared to other people with the same gear, same 150 rounds with resistance here. We're not trying to get the most damage out of them, put the best gear on them. We're trying to just do a comparison. And as long as it's somebody that does damage based off of attack, crit rate, critical damage, we're okay. If we go to specialized heroes to where we need to build them differently, like this Zorak, we would actually need to build Zorak differently. But I did try Zorak with different artifacts. Like Zorak, I tried with the nail and ink, as well as the eyeball, and they all did the same amount of damage. So it doesn't matter which artifact you use on him, it's fine out of those 3. But if I wanted to make Zorak do more damage on this team, and we definitely can, we would take him kind of away from that crit rate, critical damage. He can crit on his normal moves, he can crit on his battle skill, but if we want to make it so that his ultimate for 15 seconds feeds on these other guys, we would bring his attack up more. And even if you wanted to give him some enlightenment, you could. But we'll do that on, because since he benefits from both, we don't have to change it too much. It's already 31 million. We know we could get a little few more millions from changing him around. That's fine. But on Shaltar and Avelius and Flora, people like that, we're definitely going to have to change around some gear to keep them kind of in line with what we would have. Realistic, you know. Not overpowered, but at least realistic compared to what we're using right now. It is that powerful. Yeah, Shadow Energy is that powerful because it's all about getting our ultimates back again. It is extremely powerful. And that's really what Shadow's supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about generating that Shadow Energy. So if I have the rare where she generates 30 Shadow Energy on her battle skill, the quicker we can get her back to that battle skill with Toldi and everybody else, the faster she can get to doing her ultimate again. So we're talking about the Shadow guys are really supposed to do their ultimates far faster than everybody else can do their ultimates. Where we have Ice Blast doing their battle skill over and over and over, we kind of want Shadow doing their ultimates very quickly. That's like their whole deal. Their whole scheme is to do their ultimates over and over because their battle skills are still tied with skill haste and timing, which I think is a little weird. Maybe they should have gone Shadow all the way. Shadow for the battle skill, Shadow for the ultimate. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that we can still use older things to increase their battle skill, I guess. Like skill haste and attack speed. Well, attack speed would always be there to increase their, because whenever they attack, they get 10 Shadow Energy. So, yeah, with this much, and you got to think about that too, right? I forget their attack can generate shadow. So being that we've got 3 people to enhance shadow energy the whole entire time, like these 3, and their basic attacks are giving them 10 shadow every time they do a damage. It's a lot of shadow. I mean, look how quickly we got our girl doing her ultimate. That's Polta. We got to count the seconds. Let me get a stopwatch up. That says clock. What is this? Clock needs an update for Windows? What? Where's my phone? Sometimes I think she's doing it faster than other times, but... Okay, she just did it. So... So she did that in 14 seconds. She did her ultimate again. Now for us to do a normal hero to get her to do their ultimate every 14 seconds, that would take a crazy amount of skill haste. Like an insane. We can take them down from 20 to, you know, unless you're already like Girthin, and Girthin's already at 16 seconds. Girth's crazy, man. Girth is so busted. Okay, let me see if I can time her again and be at 14 seconds. Or quicker. Maybe sometimes she's quicker. I don't know. Maybe sometimes she's slower. Is she possessed right now? Because she'll get faster when she's possessed, right? Yeah, she was possessed there for a little while, and I think she's going to do it in like 10 seconds. See, when she's possessed, she's getting so much more shadow energy from Daphne. So I think she's much quicker with her ultimate then. That's why her damage is going up so fast. But I'm curious about attack speed artifacts. What if the artifact we have on right now, if we can increase her attack speed, I think we can get some more damage out of this, right? Do we have eyeball on her right now? We're trying to keep it calm and easy in the same kind of gear we give a lot of people. I think we have eyeball on her right now. What if we could bring in something to get her attack speed up? What do we get with the goblet? The Dragon's Blood. Dragon's Blood's 45% increase attack speed all the time, I think. And since it's on the part of the artifact, it's not on the lower part of the artifact. Right when we put it on her, we can see what her attack interval drops to. It was 8 seconds that time. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's crazy, right? With this team is like the shadow generating team. That's why this does so well. And she's already got a pretty fast attack speed, I think. I think it's like 1.8. It's not fast. We have some heroes that are 1.5, 1.2 base. There are some fast attackers. Maybe that's another thing we need to look at too on that rare as opposed to Chitter. Chitter versus Sifla. I wonder what their attack speeds are. They might be the same. Might be 2. And Tully is 2.5. What about Chitter? What's he at? Is Chitter 2 as well? Same thing as Sifla? Yeah, Tully's slow, unfortunately. So we could, and it's easier to lower those bigger numbers than to lower 1.82. Hey, Sniper, appreciate it, my man. Yeah, Arizona's got that nice weather. You have to work in the morning. Oh, all right, my man. Have a good one. Chitter's 2. Okay, so same as the rare. Yeah, how do we do? 27 instead of 28. So very, very much the same. I'm not going to write this down because we've already got it, but it would be. So I haven't looked yet, and I didn't look at the end, but before we got 8.4 million for Daphne. She's at 8.1 almost. For Espolta, we had 16 million. She's at 15.6. And then for our boy Toldy, we had 2.7. He's at 2.6. So this works well. This works really, really well. If we increase her attack speed, Is there a legendary artifact that really increases your attack speed? Here we could get a proc to increase it by 50%, but it triggers every 10 seconds. It just doesn't trigger that. I feel like it doesn't trigger that often. This gives us a flat attack speed increase, so we would go from 1.82. That's a big drop, right? Why won't it equip? What's going on here? 1.61 to 1.5 seconds. That's a pretty big drop to get your ultimate off faster. I don't think Daphne's, but I don't know. I don't know if Daphne's bugged on her. I just think that these guys are cycling. I think that this team that we're running right now synergizes so well that I just think that if we put Daphne on any other team without Espolta, it's not as good. Unless we're doing the what's his name? Unless we're doing the Azul. I think if we put Daphne on other teams, she's not able to jump in and jump out of her form as fast and as nice. And she empowers other people. She's empowering Espolta, the right one. It just makes it all crazy. It's a very fast attack. I do think this is a nice attack increase. We would have to go. We could then go away with crit rate gloves, but it would be. Let's just judge this based on.
From time to time,
Her own damage instead of a whole 150 rounds that takes a lifetime. Let's go over here. Have this lady attack this boss.
it's too late to ask for mercy.
Let's put her at 180. 3 minutes. Okay. Doesn't matter. She's got an attack on. She's going to have attack on when she does it with the eyeball say. Let's see what she gets right here.
An eye for an eye.
Now, this is just by herself. This isn't with Daphne helping her out. This isn't with Toldi helping her out. This is all just on her own. But it's going to be the same number. She has a 100% chance to crit. She's just got a faster attack speed. Now, the eyeball gives her 20% additional damage on her ultimate. So, we'll see on 3 minutes what's better. I guess the attack speed would be better, right? If we're attacking... I mean, she's going pretty quick. I feel like even by herself, she's going pretty quick. If she does her battle skill, she gets an increase. If she does an attack, she gets an increase. If she does her ultimate, I think she gets a small increase. She does. Just like she gives everybody an increase. She's pretty damn fast. I should put this number to the side so I remember it. This is... with... Dragon's Blood. Now we could give her better gear, right? Because she's already at 100% chance to crit. We could change to critical damage gloves. Sure. We could do more.
An eye for an eye.
12-second ultimate right now, and that's not even with Daphne or Toldi helping us out, right? That's pretty wild. Oh, you can see you can look at the countdown clock, right? She's gonna do it right here at 22. So she should do it again at 10, right? Yeah, 12 seconds flat. You're right. Good eye. 12 seconds flat. You are correct. I mean, it's pretty impressive for an ultimate. 12 seconds flat. We don't have to worry about skill haste. We can just go straight on and just use whatever damage gear we want to. Straight damage everything.
Time to time, I wonder, will Tenebria change if I kill
Oh crap! What was the amount? Shit! Did anybody remember the final number? Well, it was only 3 minutes, but did anybody see that final number? Failed. Failure. Failure. All right, I'll be right back while this goes down 3 minutes. Damn it. That was a big failure. I got to write this down. Okay, 1.9. What was their interval that time? Did you see? Check the VOD. 17. Oh, you checked the VOD? Oh, sweet. We don't have to rerun that. Appreciate it. So we did more with eyeball, huh? This is with eyeball. That is, you're saying 1.7. 1.7. So 1.9 versus 1.7. So we did better with the eyeball then. I guess she's fast enough to do her ultimate so often that the eyeball, that 20% additional damage, is helping out. It's weird, or it's not weird. I guess they just haven't done it yet. I'm sure we'll see it soon. We don't have a legendary artifact that increases attack speed, right? It's not much of a different, but it's definitely different. I wonder if overall it would help out the team though. Like if we have a team environment in here, still no Azul testing. We'll get there, man. We're going to get there. Don't worry. I wonder, since, like, okay, look at the eyeball. Let me see. When she's doing her ultimate, how 12 seconds for sure we know with the Dragon's Blood. How often are we doing ultimate here? Okay. You saw that? 250? 250 is what we had when she froze the screen. So 15 seconds. 15 seconds versus 12 seconds. Over a long fight, is that additional shadow that she's giving everybody going to be better if she's got her attack speed up? Maybe. Because then they're feeding her to do it more often. Even though the eyeball in this short little test did more, not much more. Only like 120,000 more. The fact that she is... Okay, she's got the eyeball on right now. We got attack speed increase. We got 3 minutes. Let's go. Azul's good? Yeah. Azul's good, man. He's good. He's good. I guess. We'll find out. I don't know, but a lot of other people say he's great. I did play him one time very early on, and I enjoyed him. I thought he was great. He seems like he would be very powerful. Is she possessing Daphne? Okay. Yeah, she'll possess. Or is Daphne possessing Espalta? She will. Even when we change her to the blood, she'll still possess her. Our Toldi doesn't have a lot of attack. You know, if the screen didn't freeze so much, this would be much faster. This would be more of like a 3-minute fight. But I bet if we tested, if I timed this in real time, this 3-minute fight is probably more like a 5-minute fight. So many times this camera gets frozen, right? The time gets frozen. Like then, for a couple seconds. Then for a few seconds. Then for a few seconds. It has to, but still. Eye for an eye, man, always. What did this attack dummy do to you that deserves an eye for an? What did he do to hurt you, man? Come on. Okay, we need to look at overall damage. We're not really necessarily looking at single damage, but we're looking at overall. Because when she's doing her ultimate right then, that helped out all of them. Look, it jumped them up crazy. Which means more for her. Right now with Daphne on her. Which means more for Toldi. Toldi's doing his thing, which means more for everybody. We should actually have taken off Witch's Remains for this, because if we miss a Witch's Remains, it could probably really change our results with the 3-minute fight. Oh, he just missed it right then too. He's probably missed it quite a few times. Maybe he'll miss it the same amount of times when we do this next run. It's weird there's no overall damage for this though, right? There's no big number. Like a Vortex boss. Does it give us a total number at the end? There's no point in running anything else but Ice Blast and Rook. That's it. I'm just kidding. If you have Flora, there's no point in running anything. If you have exclusives, if you have Nisjinka, run Nisjinka with Avelius and Tharvel, or whatever else you got, Sutha. If you have Rook, run Rook and Dargo and whatever else you got and just dominate the boards. If you have other exclusives, run those exclusives like Flora. If you don't have exclusives, you run Ice Blast. That's it. That's all it is. Rook is number 1. All the other exclusives. Don't have exclusives. Run Ice Blast. If you do have exclusive, like some of them that suck, like my Aura one might suck, you run Ice Blast. It's basically what it comes down to, I think. Okay, so what's the total number here? We've got 6. I'm just going to do round it. 6 million. 1 million. 6 million, 1 million. And 3.3. Right? 613. I think it's 3.3. No commas, man. Come on, commas. Why does that look like 10? That's 1 million. And 6 million. Okay.
The nobles have trampled on my family since I was a child, and I'm the sole survivor.
You think we should try this one out? I just don't think this procs enough. Whenever the wearer launches a basic attack, because it's only off of her basic attack, you got a 20% chance. I just don't think that's consistent enough. Let's go with this. It drops her damage, but let's go with this. The other one would put us back up with the same damage as the eyeball, because we get that 60% critical damage increase. But there's just not enough uptime on that attack speed increase. It's so hard to proc it. Okay, so we're ultimating every 12 seconds without any help versus before we were doing it every 15 seconds with the eyeball. So is that 3-second earlier ultimate gonna increase everybody? I think it should, right? Or multi-legendaries that compare to Girth and Bloodin? No, I don't think so. We'll find out. Because I want to run some wild teams. I want to run Total Nan with variations of legendaries. You know, Total Nan, Felicity, something else, Erich. Total Nan, Felicity, Erich would be a good one because Felicity, a lot of people get her from the horns. Total Nan's an epic, Erich is free. So that would be a great one. And we know Total Nan can do really good damage, but can Total Nan do Bloodin or Girthin type damage? I don't think Total Nan can. She might be able to. I want to see. We should do that before I leave today, and then tomorrow we should test out Azul. Yeah, I'm curious what Total Nan can do compared to all of these numbers, right? Everything that we have right now, if we slap Total Nan on with Roots, we give Erich Witch's Remains with set 2 that we use. Set 1, we put on, we can put that on Felicity if we want to. I'm curious what that total all damage is for that team, and then how much damage we're getting from, because we don't have to really rely on a lot of people. Once Total Nan reaches that 100% additional critical damage, it doesn't matter who wild procs then, or what's going on. She's already at that 100% additional critical damage. She's going to be at 100% crit rate. We could obviously, just like Bloodin and Girthin, we could gear her better than what we're going to have on her. We could give her more critical damage, more attack, because she gets 20% built-in crit rate. But we're not going to change that. We'll keep it just like we did with Girth. I think it's good numbers, man. I love Total Nan. Alfie Foley could work. Yeah, we already get what's his name for free, though, to apply Witch's Remains off of 5 hits. Do Foley and Alfie, do they have multi-hits as much as 5 hits for Witches? I don't think so. Because Erich still does really good damage on that ultimate because it's only hitting 1 target. And then 5 chances to apply Witches is great. So it's pretty much always going to happen. 60% chance each hit. I think Total Nan and Erich with... do I think Total Nan and Erich will compete with Girth and Bloodin? Well, we've got Girth, Bloodin, Nord. So what we could do is Total Nan, Erich, and Netta. That would be a good comparison to Girth, Nord, and Bloodin. With Netta in there. And she's good. She's got a high chance to proc wild, so that will get up faster. Okay, total damage here. What do we get? Okay, before Espolta had 6 million, which were lower than that. He had 1 million, which he's there, and she had 3.3. She's at 3.2. So the eyeball is better. The eyeball has it, but not really. Not really, because we could gear her different with this. We could knock off 20% of her crit rate, and we could gear her better. So I think they're very much the same. But I'd rather have this increased attack speed than the eyeball if you have the gear to warrant it. If you have the gear that will give you additional critical damage, and you can take down, you can shave off 20% crit rate from her. I'd rather have this attack speed to help the whole entire team to keep generating shadow. No, it is. We just need to take off that crit rate and give her more attack or critical damage. I think it's the same as the eyeball. It should be about the same. But let's test one more team before I leave for the day. Midnight's like, no, Midnight. Can we test it tomorrow, my man? Can we just test like a whole bunch of Azul testing tomorrow? Because we're gonna have to do a lot. We're gonna have to do Daphne jumping on Azul, Daphne Azul with the poultice, Daphne Azul with Toldi, Daphne Azul with whatever. You know, we got to do a lot, right? There's gonna be just tons of stuff. But right now, if we pull in a comparison of Erich with Total Nan and Netta, we can compare this to an exact same team. Well, Erich is a legendary, but it's okay. He's free, so he's kind of like, legendary, kind of not legendary, right? Netta, where's she at? Netta. Boom. This is just like Nord, Bloodin, and Girthin. Now, what gear did Girth had gear set 1 with roots on. Gear set 1. Roots. This will give us another baseline to like gauge all these other teams off of. So that's good. We need critical damage. Great. And attack. Is that... Huh? Probably don't need crit rate. Yeah, we're well above what we need. But that's the same gear we had pretty much on our girl. So our person with Witch's Remains was Bledin, and he had gear set 2 with Witches. And he did not have an accuracy right side rune. We just had accuracy substats, which will be plenty. But we need critical damage here. Okay. And then we need attack with a little bit of accuracy, just something. Oh, we don't even need that. Look at my accuracy. How is my accuracy so high? Okay, that'll do. 168. Plus we get 50 from our elemental advantage. We're fine. And then now she's going to have gear set, whatever the last one is. 3? With eyeball. And if these guys pull off 30 million, I'll be very impressed. Because that means they'd be exactly on par with Ice Blast. But I don't think they're going to do that. Ice Blast help each other out too much. Like they give each other too many buffs. Especially Bledin gives Girth that attack increase. And they're doing their battle skill over and over and over. With a wild proc, we just increase our damage by 20%. That's it. Unless it's Erich, he has a little other passive that adds to that. But really, we're just increasing our damage by 20%. For most of these heroes. We're already at a 100% chance to crit. Attack with attack speed. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's see what we've got. Everybody should have the same exact gear. Crit rate gloves. Critical damage, attack. With this gear set, for every critical damage, we get 4 attack. Same. Same. Eyeball, witches. Now we got to set up some timings. Okay, Erich is going to go first, but she is like... No, she's not like Girth. She's like Girth. She has a 16-second. I just let her do her thing. I'll let Girth just do whatever she wants to do on that other team. Because it's so fast. So I could let her go... I think it takes a while. Erich has to sit there and let those meteors hit. So it kind of takes like 3 seconds. Okay. So we're going to have decrease of defense up, and then we'll have total and hit, but we've got Netta going whenever she wants. And I definitely want to see high 20s. 28 million would still be awesome. Is what I mean. Like, oh, you think Daphne might be bugged? Yeah, if he's not dropping right with him, we need to play him different. Azul's gonna be played completely different. Man, it's kind of hot. It's gonna be hot outside today. When we test out Azul tomorrow, if we can get him with that additional attack speed and he stays in demon form, then we don't need all that generator, but we do need somebody else to do some damage. But really, it would just be Daphne, Taldi, and Azul, right? I mean, that's basically the team, isn't it? Because we want Taldi for 100% uptime on decreased defense. We want Daphne to possess Azul, and then he's the one doing like 80% of the damage. Well, Taldi, like I said, Taldi's going to do the decreased defense, right? So far as Azul is without Daphne, but with it and Taldi. Oh, well, we'll test that out tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do all those. We will. Well, we're running up on 5 hours, and I do have some videos. I got to check out this other thing. I've got to make some videos. I want to get some lunch. I got to do some videos for this. Five stacks, 4 million. This seems like a lot. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, Netta is cool, right? Netta is definitely great, but nobody is total Nan level in rare or epic. I don't believe. Actually, all I got to do is look at my season 1 single target damage sheet right here and see what one had single target damage. And see who was doing the most single target damage outside of Total Nan for... Well, Felicity would be amazing. Like I said, if we had Felicity in here, she would bring the damage. Like, almost Total Nan damage. Felicity would bring it. So if we bring Felicity in instead of Netta, it's going to raise this up by quite a lot. Casper is great. Flora, as you know, would be way, way, way up there. But Flora's an exclusive, so we're not really dealing with that. Alfie and Foley do the same exact tiered damage. But I think Foley can do more if we get those wild procs, right? She has a percentage chance just like Felicity to do additional hits. Are we using the right... We should be using the right leader skill, right? Resistance. Total Nan's so good, man. Total Nan's awesome, but I want to do something to increase her damage even after we reach that peak. Like, we reach this wild peak, and it's no longer needed to have these other people in here wild procking. It's not like she does something different. If my other people wild procced and Total Nan flew off another attack, that'd be really cool, right? Then we kind of need them in there. But on a long fight, all I need is really Erich or Netta in here, and they'll get Total Nan up to 100% in no time. To her max potential, right? 20 stacks of this critical damage. And Erich is the same way. He'll get up to his max potential pretty easily, but then after that, it's really like not a lot of gains. 20% additional damage when they wild, right? So we could, instead of... okay, that would be a good idea. Instead of... Yeah. Instead of, what's her name? Netta, we bring in Alfie. Well... Erich, actually, his thing is to always wild proc. So now Erich is always wild procking. It'd only benefit... It'd only benefit Total Nan to try to wild proc more often. To increase her damage. Which would be pretty good since she's doing 49% of our damage. Where's Netta at? Oh, she's right there. You see, and it says that Netta's doing the same amount of damage as Alfie and Foley too. And Thea. Thea's doing the same thing too. Yeah, what do you guys think? Azul can work on his own? Is anybody using Azul right now for, like, what were you guys getting Azul for your damage right now on day 7? What did you say that your numbers were? I mean, I'm getting 17 million with my my Aura team. That's it. 17 million with my Aura team. I don't know what you guys are doing with your teams on day 7. No legendary gear, right? Just epic gear. What are you guys kind of running with? I guess we could go look. I'd have to find somebody playing with Azul, and I'd have to see if people are breaking out their rooks on the main server on my live account. I don't know if this damage is looking high or not. I can't. 70 stacks. I feel like we're reaching 190, 150 stacks pretty quickly. Like we're coming up on it, and we're not doing a lot of damage. At least Erich is doing pretty well with Witch's Remains on. So this is Erich. Total Nan and Netta. Erich is in gear set 2, Witch's Remains. Total Nan's in gear set 1 with Roots. And Netta's in gear set 3 with Eyeball. Didn't both Boltus and Tully without any affinity bonus? The Fire God. Which one? The Ashidius or whatever his name is? You did 13 million with Toldi, Espalta, Unscrolled, Fire God, and Zephy on day 6. Oh, that dude. Sonarl. Yeah. He's awesome. He's awesome. We'll test Aura in the following days for sure. After we get done with Azul. Look, this damage isn't great, man. I mean, it's kind of on par with a lot of people, but it's not on par with Ice Blast. It's just not on par with Ice Blast. What is this season? This season is Frost and Poison, right? So for Frost and Poison, I bring an Ice Blast team along with Ogok and Furbath. Is that all I gotta do? Is that it? If I had Philosia, I'd bring her in. Yeah. For even more reduction. Oh, Sonarl was pulling in some amazing damage. He's awesome, right? I don't know if he's necessarily. He pulls in a lot of damage for me too. He's on my team. I have Sonarl along with Ardrith. So Ardrith will go, increases healing by 50%. He's got staff on, so he gets shields. He's playing just like Garius, but we have 100% uptime on decreased attack, which is super crazy. And then he's pulling in good damage himself. Right? I know. Sonarl's a beast, man. I love it. Okay, 12 million's respectable for sure. Like there's nothing wrong with Total Nam pulling in 12 million. It's not her fault that they're only at 24 million. It's the rest of the team not pulling their damn weight. $24 $710,522. Okay. And then we've got Total Nam pulling in a very nice $12,494,343. Netta with not a lot. I gotta be honest, it's not that great. And Erich is over here. I mean, Erich is fine because these are Witch's Remains, so whatever he gets, that's fine. He's actually doing well. If we could have somebody else do Witch's Remains and have Erich go full DPS, he could do better. Casper is going to be much harder. Felicity would be fine. Felicity would be a good person to put in there because she's going to pull in some serious damage.
The flame is lit.
But this is it. Last run, and then we can do flame. We can do wild tomorrow after we do Azul. But we've been off for 5 hours, so I'm going to do this last run because I am curious what this can go. It's a 24.7 million. I mean, that's really not bad. And when you look at all these other numbers, which we'll look at right after we throw her in a set. So she is replacing Netta. Netta's got eyeball, I believe. Does Felicity do better with her battle skill because it can multi-proc? We'd probably want statue on her, right? Possibly. I've never pulled Felicity. I want her, believe me. Every time I do the horn, I try to get Felicity.
Provided the white owl acknowledges you.
Fires a fireball, 300% of attack, 50% to cast it again 3 times. So if she casts it twice, that would be 600%. But we're getting here 3 times. No, this is pretty strong. Ignores their shields. They would have to cast 3 times to be the same damage as this. And the odds of it casting 3 times aren't that great. So we'll just go with the eyeball. This can multi-proc? It just says it casts 3 times. Cast a laser beam, deal. Ignores that. What's his passive? Recharge the ultimate. Oh, it recharges it. So she's going to do her ultimate faster. Basic attack or battle skill triggers a crit, which is all the time. She's going to be cycling through this really fast. How many hits is this? We should put her with Witch's Remains. I mean, the only difference with Witch's Remains is the actual artifact. It's not anything to do with all this other stuff. If we had her in Witch's Remains, she could have it up
It's my only friend.
far more often than what is currently being applied. Okay, he's going to go first. 2.5. Let's go for 2.5 seconds. No, let's go for 3 full seconds. It's fine. And then her, even if we go after him, she's going to... I feel like we should just let her do her thing. Because the ultimate... well, she's got eyeball on, so we kind of want decreased defense up when she does this. But we don't want to gimp her. She's getting increased. She's got a 100% chance to crit, so... Basic attack, basic attack, basic attack, 15. Battle skill, 20%. She's going to be going pretty often. Let's see what happens when we put her on default. But yeah, well, the attack speed, if we had attack speed on her, she would do basic attack more often to get this crit. But regardless, she's gonna be here getting 5% extra for ultimate and then 5% on this for ultimate. So even if this proc 2 times, she's gonna be firing off pretty quick. She's gonna be kind of like we just had Netta. Netta was just 16 seconds doing her thing. So hopefully if we have decreased defense up and she's already done her ultimate, maybe that battle skill will proc a couple times and she can get similar damage up with decreased defense. We've got a good window. She's got some moves. Let's see if she can hang with Total Nan. If she can, that'll be sweet. What'd you say about Netta? Yeah, we're not trying to do that, JR. We're not trying to get the most damage. We're on Vortex 2. I'm doing a tier list on all the teams. If you're on season 1, just starting the game, free to play. Yeah. But Netta we can use on a lot of other bosses too. We can use Netta on a lot of chief challenges. A lot of those rares we can use on a lot of chief challenges that do well too. Yeah, JR, we're doing kind of like a tier list, ranking list of DPS for the Vortex boss. Well, we're on Vortex 2, so we can always test here at any time. We're doing an unkillable team, so we're always going 150 stacks, and we're not really changing a lot of gear. Now, like I explained earlier, there are a lot of heroes that we're going to have to change gear for. Like if we pull in people like Shaltar, Flora, Avelius. We're going to have to change around the gear because the gear we have on right now is exactly the same for every hero you see on the screen. So all three of them have the same gear on with 100% chance to crit whenever 35% additional damage whenever decreased defense is up, all that kind of stuff. And they're all using the same artifact. So you can see Rook here with Dargo and Whisk at 60 million. That doesn't mean you're going to get 60 million when you play them. That's just showing with the same gear as everybody else has on, this is what damage they're getting. So kind of like a ranking. So if I have a guy, if I have Dargo along with Whisk and Sacred Dia, if I play them together on a team and they get 32 million, I know that that 32 million is pretty comparable to Girthin, Nord, and Bledin if I have them. So kind of like that, right? Kind of just gives you an idea that, okay, let me look at my account, see who I have. Look at this list. And try to find the 3 or 2 that will do the most damage for you on Vortex. So if I have Girthin and Bledin and they beat out at 37 million, all these other people, you might as well just play Girthin and Bledin. I mean, that's it, you know? Like, just play those two. Because none of the other corrosion teams will beat them. Except for Rook. Who's on the... What? Pokemon. Who's playing Pokemon? Oh, he's talking to Raiden? What's up, buddy? Hey, Atlas, how you doing, man? Oh, Ossifer's here. What's up, my man? Ossifer, how you been? What has Ossifer been doing? Ossifer's been doing Pokemon stuff, hasn't he? A lot of it over the years. Since we've seen him. Yo, Pope, El Pope, how you doing, my friend? I hope everybody's doing well. You need Snarl. Man, I hope you get Snarl. He really is quite a, like, just top tier legendary. Thank you for supporting. Yeah, buddy. I do card breaks now on stream. Yeah, you've been doing that for a long time. Been over a year. Yeah, I remember seeing you do that. Open up those packs. Don't those cost a lot of money? Funny thing about that is my son over the same time that you've been doing those card packs, my son has asked me to buy him Pokemon. And I bought him quite a few Pokemon packs. Before Pokemon, he was into Dragon Ball. Here's the caveat though. I told him, are you playing the game? And he had a friend, like a neighbor of ours over here with a younger son is playing Pokemon, like actively playing the game, making decks, doing shit with it. My son, not at all, right? My son says, yeah, I know how to play. These guys are teaching me, but he doesn't play. So that fad kind of like went out, because anytime he'd ask me to get him a pack, sometimes I'd pick up a pack, but I'd be like, are you learning to play still? Are you learning to make decks? Are you learning the strategies? Because it's awesome, right? That's good for your brain. Make decks, learn the strategies. I played Magic the Gathering when it came out a long time ago, and I played it for years. Loved it. Loved the strategy, loved the cards. Awesome. But my son he didn't. I can help your son. He didn't, man. And I was going to get into it if he did, because I've never played Pokemon. I never played Yu-Gi-Oh!, never played Pokemon, always Magic. I played a couple other like weird variation of card games like the Vampire Masquerade or something like that. But I was like, I could get they're all Japanese here. I could get the English cards though. Enough that me and my son could play and learn it, but he went on to other stuff. He's doing some sports. He's off with his friend. You know what he's playing a lot of? Ossifer? He's playing the phone game Roblox. He's playing One Piece Roblox. I think it's Roblox. One Piece Roblox, where you get these magical fruits, and there's a lot of people on YouTube that do videos about it. It's actually like it's an MMO that you play on your phone or a console or anywhere. You can play it anywhere, just like this game. Jump back and forth between all of them. And you play One Piece characters, and you get these magic fruits, and you get gear. You fight bosses. You go across the world. You can duel people. It's pretty wild. Yeah, he loves that game. And there's a lot of people that play that game, and all of his friends play that game. So they're all on their mobile devices or computers talking to each other while they're playing it. They're all like raiding. I don't know about raids. I've seen them fight bosses and do duels and get whatever seasonal fruits happening. It's pretty cool. But I'm not going to get into that. I could play that, but I don't have time to play a game like that. He's always playing it, man. But my wife wants him to get off his ass and go outside and do stuff, so he's been doing that too, you know. Can't just be laying around playing some phone game all the time. But he's going to his tutoring schools. He's doing good with his grades. My daughter's doing good with their grades. So I guess if he wants to play that game. Need a healer? Got it. Right, exactly. That's what Snarl's right. Snarl is exactly like that. You need attack down, 100% uptime. You don't want to put accuracy on that person? No problem. You need some heals? You need AoE decrease attack? No problem. AoE damage. Healed people decrease attack up. You want to put some shields on somebody from those heals? Put a staff on him if you want to. I run him with a staff. Now he's got additional skill haste. He's putting up overflow healing. He's putting up shields. I run him after Ardrith, so he has 50% additional healing. And he is crazy. And he does good numbers, like good damage numbers, because he's all attack. I'm not trying to do crit rate critical damage, but Snarl still got really high attack, so pretty awesome. Who hit me up over here? Stu, we've been bamboozled. I can't buy any of the season 1 artifacts or Utir. It says it's for season 3. Yeah, at the end of season 3 we can. It's in the season 3 shop for end of season 3, not the season 2 shop. Season 2 shop is at the end of season 2, which would be the beginning of season 3. So you're in the season 2 shop while you're starting season 3 and using that. This season 3 shop where you can get him and get his inspirations won't be till we end this current season, which means at the end of next season, which is a long time, that's another 5 months or more, then we'll be able to inspire Ardrith in this shop. But not till then. And I do want to 4 inspire Ardrith if I can. I don't really care about the 5th inspiration so much, but I will definitely 4 inspire Ardrith, especially if it's just taking me my sand core that I get from throughout the season, you know. Yeah. You pulled it. That was your first one? Nice. So you just put up a bunch of burns. He can put up burns himself. And you blow everything up. See, now she's doing more damage than Erich, sure. But wasn't our little girl, she's not doing much more damage. Must be the gear. But it's the same gear everybody's got, so we can't blame it on the gear. Netta was pulling in 5.5. So yeah, Felicity's doing more than 5.5. She's at 7.7 now, so that's good. That's the increase in our overall damage, I'm sure. Total Nan pulled in 12.4 million, which she should again pull in 12.4 million, somewhere around there. Looks like she's a little low this time. Maybe we didn't wild proc as much. That's the problem with this team. Even with 100% crit rate, we always have, you know, stable numbers. But being that we had that little additional wild proc, we're going to have a little fluctuation in overall damage. And Erich was pulling in 6, which he's very close to 6. Bye-bye, Total Nan. Total Nan's at 12.3, and she was at 12.49 over here. So really, really close. We'll write down these numbers then. Felicity's in 3 with eyeball, right? Okay. Okay, what did we get? 27. 27's pretty good. It's not really Ice Blast. It's kind of Ice Blast good. No, Ice Blast good is like 30. Yeah, Ice Blast good is... Nord, Girth, and Bledden beat out this number. Oh, man. You just can't stop Ice Blast. It's like I said earlier, guys. I said this earlier. If you have an exclusive, like Flora, Nezjinka, all those, sure. Use those for the Vortex boss. If you have Rook... he's going to beat everybody. And then you bring in all the other ones. Or we'll see how Rook compares to all those god tier Dauntless teams later on. But he'll beat them out. So you either have Rook, then you have an exclusive. You can play those. And if you don't have any exclusives to play or any good exclusives, because my Aura exclusive might not do well, then you just bring in Ice Blast. That's it. That's it for Vortex teams. There's no other comparison. That's all you do. Just bring in Ice Blast. Felicity pulled in chump numbers compared to Nord. She pulled in chump numbers. All right, Total Nan is the only beast here at 12.3. And then Erich with Witcher's Remains is still respectable. I think he's very good with Witch's Remains. All right. Let's look at what we've got, guys, before we head out. We've been on for 5 hours. Don't feel so crazy without Dargo, or you definitely need Dargo. Yeah, bring in Dargo. She doesn't seem to do much. Yeah, she's not great. And I can show you right here. If you want to go to the spreadsheet, just type in !recipes, or go to any one of my YouTube videos and look at the bottom. So if you look at all the testing we did with corrosion the last few days, you can see all the numbers here and how well they do. I've got the gear set. There's 3 different gear sets that I'm using. That's why you see a number 1, a number 3, a number 2. WR is Witches Remain, Roots is the Roots, and then Eyeball is the Eyeball Artifact. You can see 33 million here with Whisk, Durango. I mean, you have Rook though, right? If you can just pick up Durango, you're fine. Like Rook, Durango, and I don't care what you throw in for Witches Remains. Do it, and you're gonna be great. That's all you need. So just go find your Durango, my man, and you got it made. So congrats. That's pretty awesome. Then if we come down here to Nord, even like this rare Nord at 7.4 million with the statue on and set number 3. So set number 3 is the same one Felicity had on with the eyeball, and she did 8.6 million. Well, Nord did 7.4 million with set 3 and statue. But overall 30 million because we got Bledin and Girth here because Girth is just broken. And Felicity, Total Nan, Erich couldn't even break that 30 million. Same gear set, same artifacts, same everything, right? Same resistance lead that we're using for everybody from Ogok. Same 150 stacks. Now we are going to have variation in this because, again, we have the wild proc, right? So depending on how often they wild proc, we could have different numbers here. But this is steady, right? This is real steady. Oh, Total Nan's missing a number here. Let's just put another 0. Okay, so Total Nan, though, pulled off that 12.4. Same gear each run, so you know the number is going to be very similar, except for wild proc. So 12.4, 12.3, that's fine. Netta went from Felicity, which raised us up quite a bit, and then Erich stayed the same. That's what we would expect. And then we come down here to the Shadow people. Now, we haven't tried Azul yet, but our best Shadow team is with all these people generating Shadow for each other. Daphne, Aspolta, and Tuldi. 28 million. We tried to bring in Chitter, which wasn't bad, I would say, instead of Daphne. We brought in this rare, which was better than Chitter without Daphne. Still, Aspolta, the rare, and Tuldi, 24 million. It's all right. I mean, if it was 30 million, I'd be really happy about it because I can't be happy about a team bringing in 24 million when I got a rare and 2 epics bringing in 30 million. I just, like, how can I be happy about that? Sure, it's all about this epic. I get it. I mean, this epic is pulling in 16 million, right, for the team? This epic's only pulling in 20 million. So if this epic pulled it, like if Total Nan could pull in 16 million somehow, then it would be on par with them. We need a way to give Total Nan more wild procs with Alfie, maybe? Or somebody to come in to give, like, increased attack. Is there somebody in the wild sphere that can come in and give Total Nan 30% increase attack or something all the time and still bring in maybe like 5 million damage? Because it's really all about her. I mean, that's the same thing with Girth. Bledin is giving her 20% additional attack whenever he does his ultimate. And of course, both are giving her plenty of ice crystals to make sure she does her battle skill over and over. So she's really cheating, right? They're all cheating, doing their battle skill over and over until their ultimate comes up. It breaks it up. Then whenever their battle skill starts back up again, they just keep doing their battle skill over and over. Shinna in here really increases it because she gives increased attack. Then Bledin gives increased attack to her. So Girth gets doubled up with a different version of increased attack. And she just dominates. with 37 million with Shinna. And then Zorak, we could make Zorak. Now remember, we're using the same gear sets on everyone. This gear set is not built for Zorak if we wanted to get optimal damage. But even adding a couple more million to this team still isn't as cool as Shinna and Bledin. Zorak, from my testing all throughout season 2, because I used him a lot. I pulled him, I pulled Shinna, and I pulled all the rest of these epics for Ice Blast on the banner. And I was trying to use him from the beginning. Every time I used him with any kind of variation of anything, it was not better than Bledin. Honestly, it wasn't. Even though he's given 40% additional damage to a whole entire team, he just kind of, the way his ultimate works kind of sucks. But those are the numbers. That's what we got so far. We'll see tomorrow. I want to try, we're going to do Azul tomorrow. And then after we're done doing a whole bunch of variations of Azul, I want to jump on Aura. I want to see how Aura are, because now we've got a good baseline for Total Nan and Wilds. And we've got a great baseline over here for Ice Blast. So can Azul, bust past this 30 million? Can Azul get to 37 million? He's an exclusive, right? Though he does a lot of AoE damage. So maybe if he doesn't do crazy damage, single target, maybe he's, built for AoE damage is all we can say. Where do we need that? 8 days at the in-game boss that we fight, I guess. That's really it. You can have fun with him everywhere else, just like I'm having fun with Aura. I'm having a lot of fun with Aura everywhere. I don't care if they're the best or not. They're just new and they're fun. So I'm playing them regardless. Same thing you should do with Shadow. If Shadow can get you through whatever you're doing and you have fun with it, keep playing it. But don't play it if you're only playing 20 million though. Go for like 30 or 30 million. Yeah, just go for 30 million. I know you guys got Bledin, Girth, and Nord. So go for that. Or go for, Bledin and Girth. Those two together with 3 support. That's all you need. Until we do more testing. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. If you're not playing Dragonheir Silent Gods, download it down below. Come and join us on Discord. We're there all day long. I'm always on my Discord. So if you have any questions, you can talk to us about your team, gameplay, all that kind of stuff. And of course, you can always play on Steam. So go over to Steam and download it from there. Play it on your mobile device. Come and join us. Tons of fun. That's it for today, guys. 5 hours and 13 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, and we'll do this all over again. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday's good. Sunday, I'm going to be out with the family, so I might have to come in early and only do 2 hours on Sunday, because then we got to go to that Cherry Blossom Festival, but we'll worry about that in 2 days from now. My Rook numbers don't feel crazy yet without Dargo. Once you get Dargo and once you get higher damage, then your Rook's going to be insane, because he does additional damage based off of 30,000 corrosion. To get more corrosion up means better gear, longer time up on the boss. You'll do that in no time, and you'll be blowing people away for sure. All right, fellas, appreciate everybody for joining me. I don't know if anybody's on right now. Dragonheir. I don't know who that person is. Yeah, all right, I'll just head out. Okay, guys.